Alright, hello and welcome back to DragonPoetSociety. My name's Nicholas, your resident DM, and we're back with a shorter crew. Go watch the last episode, we're on YouTube and all that, to catch up if you missed. But watch us live now, you can always recap, I'll do a recap here quite shortly. But for now, this is the team we're going to go forward with, and then the latter folk, we'll see if they're able to rejoin us down the line, depending on the outcomes. But
not foreboding at all.
yeah, not at all. But with that said, quick disclaimers just out of the way and stuff like that. We're back to playing on Sundays, so thank you for joining us. And as always, we're on Instagram and YouTube. You can find some of our extra content and the uploads and stuff like that from previous sessions. Just look for us at DragonPoetSociety or /DragonPoetSociety or DragonPoetSociety.com. Just how many times can I say that? But in any case, we'll just go ahead and launch right into the recap. When last we left off, the party had departed from Bright Meadow to make their way back to the Shining City in the hopes of escorting Anetka's parents, Bria and Nadia, to safety of Solni. Along the journey, they recovered from their shadowy stains and donkey-like characteristics, cough to kneel cough, that were laid on them during their time at the flickered Damned-In Ranch. Renewed and refreshed, they had made good time until they stumbled along some outcrying voices off to the side of the road that was crying for help, with wagon tracks careening off in the way as well. As they cautiously explored the sources of the voices, the party came upon an overturned caravan, and a voice that sounded like one of the Bright Meadow townsfolk, Leska Lomehand, a individual who had helped them a little bit before. Eager to assist, but worried about walking into a trap, the party stumbled into a trap, with several bear traps that were triggered, and the mimicking Kenku popping out from the overturned wagon and nearby hills to ambush the party. Since the ambush wasn't entirely a surprise, the party was able to hold their own, but during the ensuing combat, the rumored Lord of Vultures, Arcturus, swooped in and joined the fray, with his magically rending javelin and trio of giant vultures named Bone, Marrow, and Sinew, and claiming that he wanted the Sea Blood and the Raven, indicating Flo and the Cackler. Repeatedly bloodying the party and offering them a chance at surrender, if they simply give up their companions, Arcturus continuously pressed the group until the Cackler relented, and two of the vultures swooped and scooped up both him and Flo away as Arcturus made his exit, flying northeast away from the party. With a heavy heart, the party dispatched the remaining Kenku, leaving only one captive to question and gain some information about a captain and a fox. Some other interesting little pieces of tidbit conversation that they overheard and gleaned from Arcturus or these Kenku themselves. They also learned that the Kenku were hired ahead of time from the Werewarrens section in the Guildwater Stalls of Solni, the sort of dockside district, and that they had met up with Arcturus inland somewhere and collected the voices they needed from Leska and other murdered or wounded victims. With their bound captive now in tow, the party readies to perhaps recover or pursue their assailant and find a way to recover the missing members of their party, all while keeping in mind their final destination of Anetka's family as well. So, with that said, what is everyone doing? A few hours into your guys' departure from Bright Meadow. Probably put it at about 3-4 hours, probably let's say 4 hours, after you guys departed for the first leg of the journey. So what is it that everyone wants to do?
Should we potentially move on from this site but find a shaded spot to take a break to get out of the sun for an hour or so?
That seems like good. Can I borrow a pencil from someone? My pen ran out.
Yeah.
Thank you. I have one.
That's alright.
And how is the captain bound right now? We just have a bound rope?
Yeah, he was roped out.
And we wrapped his beak so he can't talk.
Gotcha. And I assume...
And carried by leash.
Yeah,
okay.
He's free walking, but otherwise pretty well bound, arms and beak and stuff like that. So,
Okay.
kind of being pulled. So, as you guys sort of, how's everyone looking? First of all,
I could use that short rest.
It looks bloody and sad.
Bewildered and bloody. Yeah.
There's her name.
Bewildered and bloody. Yeah.
Actually, I really like that.
Actually,
like it a lot,
we could
yeah.
spell it B, like bewildered and bloody.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Party's still working on a
the
group
name.
name there,
Yeah.
but
I
maybe we just touched on it.
I really like that.
I really like
Renastus,
that.
you had taken 12 points of damage during the fight, by the way.
Thank you.
Since I was playing you last time.
At
least that's what my notes keep track.
Oh, you used a lot.
You used, I think, all 3 of them on healing, if I'm not mistaken.
So
So
to keep the Cackler alive.
yeah,
That's fair.
He did want to die in a bad way.
there was quite a few saves that you actually pulled off. So good job, Renastus.
Yay.
So
He lives to mimic another day.
Just to laugh softly in his sleep.
We think.
We don't know.
first you gotta find him. Confirm. Gotta.
He was alive last we saw him.
That's true. When last we left off, he was alive. How you doing, Nate? If you're watching on the VOD.
Hi, Nate.
The Cackler said, have fun.
Alrighty. So
But yeah, do we want to find another quiet place and take a little bit of a breather?
okay. Well, I mean, looking around you, you are in an area with hills and forest, but for the bloodied wreckage of the dead, this is a rather shaded and, they picked their spot intelligently, knowing that it had limited choke points and things like that.
Just put a trap for him.
But you did trigger a couple of them, although the Cackler did pry one open and reset it. So, do you guys want to just carry on and look for a different spot, or rest here?
How's everyone else feeling?
Yeah, I feel we could rest here. Probably drove off any lesser bandits.
Slate is fine with a lesser encounter.
I could really use something now.
I'll go around the campsite and make sure there's nothing else that's going to surprise us or
Sure.
around the site.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation.
you said
Yeah, and you're
At disadvantage.
well. No, I'll allow just normal.
Okay.
That's fine. Sure, clawing around and stuff.
But that was not terrible. It's 19.
19. You don't find anything really of note, other than what was laid. It looks like they had some kind of tripwire system coming from the opposite direction of the overturned wagon, sort of on the other far side. So if you had tried to run past them, maybe the idea was to trip you up.
Okay.
But otherwise, you don't see anything that is immediately making you think danger.
Did you say, so you said that the Cackler had done reset some of the traps?
Yeah, so he triggered a bear trap that closed around his leg, but then he reopened it and was reset. It's kind of on one of the hills that's just to the right of the overturned wagon as you're facing it from the road.
So there are no other ones that have...
There was another one that was triggered, but that was definitely avoided. Stepped away and closed on nothing, as I think Flo triggered that one, but
Okay.
danced away from it. That's actual damage.
Renastus will go and try to reset the trap.
Make a strength check.
Oh, strength.
Prying apart a bear trap. It's a strong endeavor.
Oh wait, I don't have to do it. Okay, well I already rolled at 5.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm used to doing it digitally.
Yeah, that was a journey for that dice roll. You sort of, but it's not budging.
You have a friendly Chandler hanging around. Look at that.
So he's just sitting there.
Do I see this?
Stubborn.
Yes, you do see him struggling.
Here, Mike, let me show you. You're getting an accent. I don't know what it is, but you're getting one.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead and make a strength check. That's fine.
Let's see if I can do any better than the old man. What was that? Oh, yeah, trick him. That'll be 21.
Oh yeah, you're just sort of foot down, one-handed.
You could have at least tried to make it look difficult.
You
Save
listened
an
it
old
for me.
man's
You listened
feelings.
it for me.
I'll just go back and join the rest of the party.
Okay. So having confirmed that there aren't any other major worries, you guys go ahead and take your short rest. You don't have to really set up watches. You're all still awake for a short rest. Good time to do any attunements or anything like that, if there are any of those.
The Cackler took the one thing we had.
I believe so. Although, did he hand over the calculator? Not yet? Okay. So, go ahead and select and use the hit dice of choice that you'd like to roll.
Wanting to play a song if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled terribly.
And just add your con modifier at the end.
2 ones.
A 1 and a 3.
7.
Oh no, that's a 7!
Nice.
Why am I rolling d6s? I'm not helping.
All right, we need a reintroduction to hit dice, I guess.
This is the first time I think I've rolled hit dice.
D8 there, buddy. Diamond shape.
Thank you, dude.
I'm back to full health. Woo!
Nice.
There you go.
Aneka is just sort of not talking to anyone, has sort of just brought out Mr. Mittens and is just scratching behind the ears.
Tennille is very occasionally looking at you with a look that just says, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Aneka just stares back.
I'm sure, yeah, it's just, he's just not quite sure what to, the bewildered part, that's where this is coming in.
Bewildered!
The Kenku captive just sort of looks at each of you forlornly and just like squats.
Yeah, I guess I don't really want to talk in front of him, because then he can mimic us.
I feel kind of bad for the Kenku. He's just trying to get his food.
Do you say that as Slate?
I mean, the bloke's just looking for some food.
Aneka will take out the finger knitting and message him. I don't think we asked for your name.
What would the mental voice of a Kenku sound like? Because they don't have to mimic in their minds, do they?
No, they don't have to mimic in their minds. That would make their life a little bit sad.
I have to think in people's words.
Yeah, they think in other people's words. I am called Needlebeak.
He's called Needlebeak. I mean, should we let him go? Should we keep him here? I don't... Kind of saying it quietly, but... What should we do with him? I don't want to really turn him into the town gods. That seems distasteful.
Do you have a problem with authority?
I mean, yes.
Seems fine enough. Let's just let him go.
How many of the villagers did he kill?
That's a good question. Show up a message. How many?
Maybe we don't ask him so we don't have to kill him.
Well, maybe we do, so we can.
Myself specifically, or that I helped with?
Give me both.
Personally, 1. Maimed 4. I'm remarkably honest, really.
Did Nate even leave the campaign?
The Cackler, he killed 1, he maimed 4.
I'm not the moral judge of this situation.
I think I have been deemed not the moral judge. I think mine's just fine, but... Tania?
Yep,
Slay?
Tennille, it's all you.
Oh god.
You decide this Kenku's fate.
So... Is Bright Meadow under the jurisdiction of Solnian government? Yeah. Okay.
Part of the Radiant Reach, which is the northern half of Sanctus.
We can keep him tied up, and I know we don't want to turn him into the guard, but we aren't the judge, jury, and executioner, so...
I say, yeah, we turn him over when we catch up with the caravan, turn him over to, the Mirror Guard.
Huh? Do you think he'll be executed?
Probably.
Do we know what happens to highwaymen? I mean, I would guess.
Generally, you would know that the law would include execution as an opportunity, as an option here. This isn't really a situation where you could take the long light, which is sort of like working instead of incarceration, working the light farms. But exceptions have been made, often with like fines, slash, stuff like that, for that kind of situation. But doesn't seem like the type of person who'd be able to put out that sort of money.
I'm not sure I see the difference between us just killing him and the gods.
Boy.
How do you explain?
Oh wait, is this a walk and talk or is this during the rest?
This is during the rest, I think.
Okay.
I would like to have a nap. Can we carry this conversation on at another time?
Yeah, Grandpa.
Seems like a lot to put on me. What if I just want to doze off for a little bit?
Okay.
You also want to take a nap?
I mean, he might be very soon.
An eternal nap.
Alright, enough screwing with the captive.
So you guys take your rest.
Yes.
And coming a little bit more refreshed, having regained the health that you regained, are you guys trying to make your way, kind of veering back onto the road and back to the shrine, that sort of midway point that you guys had stopped off on before, or was there a particular other direction that the party wanted to pursue or anything like that?
I would like to catch up with the caravan. Oh, actually, old man Dan seemed... I mean, I didn't like him, but he seemed reasonably, fair, even keel. We could turn him into him. Make him decide.
Is he an elected official of the law?
Yeah, he was. He was the town keeper of law, yeah.
He's the lawman, so yes.
Lawman Dan.
Dan the Law.
Oh. I didn't know if that was his last name or...
His name's Hugart Dan, but
We're children.
he's Lawman Dan, so, that is his official title.
Yeah, we could just make it his problem,
I like that idea.
I like that idea too.
Yeah, not like the strictest part of the Solni government. It's also, this guy did kill people from Bright Meadows, so that seems
He has
fairer.
more of the right to make that decision than we do.
Would the caravan stop at the shrine?
Possibly, but I mean, I assume they're going along the main road.
I don't know how fast they're traveling.
You saw signs of certainly caravans moving along the main road in that direction.
I think they have kids and whatnot. Probably need to rest.
Injured, the weird
Yes,
animal people.
many injured, many weird animal-minded
They'll be at the
individuals.
warehouse.
Yeah. Very least we could stop in and ask if they've ever had people stay over, or if they've seen a caravan.
That sounds good.
Well, then, let's hit the road and... Yeah.
Okay. So, as you guys make your way, traveling, the four of you, who's leading up this sort of keeping the perception check open and keeping an eye out? Who's in charge of that?
Renasus had a good nap. He can help.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception check then.
Well, we'll see how good his nap was.
Yeah.
Well, you're the only one who can see in sunlight, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you to come prepared. 18.
18, nice. Okay, so you go on for a little while. Probably another couple hours of travel. It's hot, but you guys did rest in the shades. That's nice. And you got your little plant that you can, little plant hat going on.
Got my hat on.
Yeah, you got a hat, proper hat. So moving on, you can definitely tell there's a consistent series of tracks moving along the road. You can tell that there is a lot of footprints and wagon wheel tracks and things like that expand outside of the footprint of the road as well, indicating that seems like there's a large continuous stream of people who have been traveling this way. You come to a sort of convergence of roads from another direction, sort of from the southwest area, where you see again more like caravan tracks and footprints and things like that, kind of joining with this main road that leads towards Solni. Off to the distance, not too far from where you're at, maybe 200 feet, you do see a sort of strangely flattened patch of grass in like a circular pattern, not too far from one side, but otherwise that's kind of what. Otherwise, it's pretty clear skies. Terrain here is mostly less hilly, getting to more like open fields, some occasional sparse trees and copses of wood. So.
Well, I'll point out the patch. Maybe a big fat animal sat here.
Judging by like what you can see, it looks like it's at least like 100 feet across.
Very fat animal.
Really big.
Does it look like maybe wagons had circled up there, or?
It's hard to tell from this distance any more than what I've given, so if you can go over and check it out, but
we want to go over and check it out.
Well, being of a curious sort, I would like to, but I also recognize that I can get us stuck on tangents and...
Let's go, Mike. Stick with them.
I'm gonna put on my goggles before we go over.
Okay, you activating them?
Yeah, so when we go
Okay.
over, I can actually see a little bit better.
Harshness of the permanent sunlight seems to fade a little bit for you, which is helpful. So you go over of a little distance, and you see it is looks like it's a flattened but also woven. The grass seems to be woven where it's been flattened, and it seems to be like a perfect circle about 100 feet across. There seems to be lots of flowers of multiple colors blooming within its perimeter. But yeah, you're just sort of standing maybe 5 feet, 10 feet away from its edge there, closest to you. That's what you see.
Especially where the grass is woven. Has Nick ever heard about anything that would do this, or
Make a history check.
history? That would be a 24.
You've heard of some local legend regarding it's some like story of some kind of some sort of trickster or something like that weaving the grass, or you can't quite remember all the details, but it was something to do with woven grass and some lord of some sort. You can't remember quite all the details.
It was a story my parents used to tell me around bedtime. Can't quite, it's been a while, but about woven grass and a trickster and lord. Yeah, the local legend.
Hearing this, the Kenku is just sort of like,
Do you have something to say, Needlebeak? A message?
don't go messing with local magic.
That is the most reasonable thing you've said.
I'm gonna do it.
I want to hard cast detect magic.
Okay.
Because we have it prepped.
Yeah, this clearly is a magical
Okay.
influenced area. Comes with a strong sense of like whimsy, and kind of a strange. Trying to think, it's like certainly the strongest flavor that you're getting from the area and the winds that sort of blow around is enchantment of some sort. But otherwise, you can't really place too much more of the deeper nature of the magic. It seems to be in. You would get a little bit of this. It seems to be more in harmony with nature in some way. Less like it's part of the natural order somehow, even though this is clearly not part of nature.
Does it feel like dangerous, or like is it just kind of?
You have no real way of knowing necessarily. You know, detect magic usually just gives you the school of magic, and if it's magical, but you get this little extra bit. But otherwise, it's hard to be certain. You're not seeing any like symbols or anything like that that would indicate, you know, this is an explosive something or whatever. But that doesn't mean that it's not necessarily just that it doesn't telegraph.
Okay.
So whimsical, you say?
Well,
Like a clown?
Inside jokes.
What is a clown?
If you know it, they dress up for like children's birthday parties. So whimsical, but also kind of creepy. Kind of like the Cackler.
They have clowns
So,
and
like,
jesters and stuff, and fools.
I don't like them. They scare me. I kind of want to touch the Lore Brightstone to it, but I also don't.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I feel like we should touch it.
Alright, I'm gonna kind of hold it out and just very, like, slowly creep forward and try to, like, touch it to the woven grass.
Get
Okay.
in there. Just touch it. It's fine. Get in there.
Okay. Well.
It's decidedly not fine.
Oh god.
Define fun.
Fine's a
So
relative
many
term.
ears are coming back.
As you touch it, it does pulse with like a greenish golden light, and you see like one of the gossamer threads joining a rather good-sized bunch of other ones there that are floating there in the Lore Brightstone. And as you touch it, you hear, you hear first sort of a laughter, a raucous, joyous kind of laughter, and you see like the outlines. Just you see like the outlines of footprints. They look like they're cloven hooves, and stuff all over the like area of the grass and stuff like that. And then you start to see more and more.
Okay. I'm gonna back away.
Okay, they disappear as you pull away.
I'll let everyone know what I saw.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alright, that's neat. You got the whole bright.
hearing the partial remembering of Anika's story and with this new information, does this start to sound like anything familiar to
Go ahead and make a history check.
history?
Mhm.
Oh, why am I doing this? Okay. I'm not gonna do...
I let you dice.
I know, I'm just so used to doing it. Oh. Okay, well, 9.
And Ren is dead.
Does not ring any bells that you have previously rung.
Okay.
It says, I don't know if I would think of anything.
You can also make you can make a history check too.
Okay.
That's fine.
I don't think you get to. It's like,
That's a
I
6.
could ask someone a question.
You not. You could ask someone a question.
I don't
But
know.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
Should I? Do I need to?
I'm hot.
Well, let's keep moving. Would you like my spare hat?
My plant is keeping my head cool. It's really just the rest of my body that's...
I'll at that I will press the digitate the air around Renossus's neck and like his torso and make it cool.
Oh, that's nice.
Is his fur still orange?
I'm sorry? No, not any longer.
huh. And I go, we'll look at that and be like, I thought that dye would last longer. Couldn't figure out how to acid set it. And just sort of like in the air, like looks like she's trying to figure out things.
Doing some calculations.
But maybe acid or maybe an alum. Oh, I don't know. So it's already acidic, but it really does not. As she's walking,
Renossus is chipper. We're turning to the main road.
Okay.
If we're leaving, that's
Yeah.
my brain friend.
Okay. So what are you asking? There?
I'll just kind of rather than words, just the image of what's I'm looking at, the feel like the words that everyone else has spoken. Just kind of all in a ball and just kind of huck it into the back of my brain, see what happens.
Okay.
Along with like a query feeling.
Okay.
With a... What do you call that thing again?
No one terrible things.
Okay.
This isn't like an aggressive question. This is just like
Yeah. You do that, and after a moment, you don't really seem to get any response.
that's par for the course.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't like take psychic damage.
it's a good day when you don't take psychic damage.
That's what I say to myself every morning in the mirror.
It's true. I hear him say that.
So, having seen this little unusual circle, did you guys want to do anything else, or are you heading back to the main road?
I think Ren was headed back to the main road, so we'll
Okay.
follow.
Okay.
Kind of like Slate and Tania like leading Anika along as she's like doing her die math.
Can we really leave this without figuring out what it is?
You're welcome to walk into the circle if you want, but
I don't know what this is, and it sounds amazing.
I've had my fill of things with cloven hooves doing strange things to me.
Not a fan of the whole donkey look.
No, I wasn't.
Hey, you know what we have?
What?
A morally ambiguous captive.
Just the huge wide eyes looking in terror.
Okay,
Am I the evil one? Are you the evil one?
We're murder hookers. We're totally okay.
You're our captive, tell us secrets, and now you're a test subject.
Just gonna stop and look at Slate.
I don't know if he has like a moral compass.
You also get the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed look. Like drag Needlebeak to Renastos back the road.
Oh, it's just a joke, I swear. Don't inside joke that.
It's a Jack.
I like to think he just said that out loud.
Did you want to do anything else, Slate? They're walking down the road with
I can't
Needle
not
beak
know
in
what
the
this
tail.
does.
Okay.
Oh god.
Okay,
You've
Alright,
been
so before I head
possessed
in here-
by Valkyr.
kind of. I'm gonna tie a rope around myself, and I'm gonna hand it to all three of you. Because I think I need all three of you to pull me out.
Needlebeak, can you also help with this?
Kind of looks down at his bound
He's already tied to it.
hands and just looks.
Just tie the rope around him a little bit too, and then he's coming in whether he likes it or not. So, well, now you're invested. Let's go.
I'm gonna kind of just like and cast guidance on Slate before he
What
walks
was it
in.
all the stuff we could learn?
Anetka's gonna get her mage hand out and have it help pull the rope. All 10
Oh,
pounds.
10 pounds extra.
Nice.
I mean, with this group, that might
We'll
be...
take it, yeah.
Renasus was like halfway to the road and starts walking back.
I'll admit I am quite curious about what this is.
Oh, are we doing this?
I mean, I am. I don't think anyone else is. No one else should, actually. But
So you step in?
I'm gonna, before I do,
Okay.
I'm gonna cast split message
Okay.
at Neil and Anetka.
Okay. So you both simultaneously hear what he's about to say. Like, as you can tell, the three of you are, like, connected mentally.
Alright, if I do something weird, let me know, because I might not be able to hear you with my ears. And then I will...
Alright, you have guidance. I already gave you guidance.
Yes.
So you have, okay.
Here we go. Let's do it.
Okay. The instant that you, like, cross and your feet step onto the grass, you also hear the, like, raucous laughter, and you see the cloven hooves, but they're arrayed in a particular way, and you break out into dance. You just are uncontrollably unable to you're just cheerfully dancing, and you're like matching where all of the cloven hooves are, as like you're matching in like a follow-along step dance.
Am I dragging people along?
At a certain point, the team is starting to feel some tugging, and you're just watching this very, like, austere and otherwise rather quiet, tall Goliath warrior just walk right into it and just burst into cheery dance. And he's got, like, a big smile on his face, and he's just having a good old time.
Ren starts awesome.
I didn't know you had it in you, Tiny. You should come back and kind of like yank on the rope.
Am I aware of any of that?
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
He's having a great time. Why stop it? Join us.
Kinker just looks. And then looks
Aneka,
at Neil, who's holding on.
she dances, but she dances very mechanically. Like, there's no, like, grooving or feeling the rhythm. It's just like, okay, and he's making this step, and he's making this step, and he's making this step.
16.
Okay. So you're hearing, like, music and laughter and things like that. And as you guys are joining in the dance, you're also hearing the music and the laughter, and you just feel uplifted and bolstered by the experience. You've had your fun, and you feel like, okay, now I need to rejoin the party, and you kind of just like dance your way over out of the circle. And as soon as you like get to the edge out of the circle, you just back to normal. Like,
Ren's still dancing. No more. All done?
Yeah, it was I had to get it out.
Was that you or the circle?
That was all me. By which I mean the circle.
A little jig every now and then is good for the knees. Keeps them nice and mobile.
I don't know if I've ever danced before. That was interesting.
You looked graceful. Did he look graceful?
yeah, like he'd been doing it his whole life.
You looked so full of joy.
I mean,
Thank you.
I've been to a barn dance or two. I'm not very good at it, but you're much better than I am.
So,
Tennille, have you ever danced before?
I decline
Is there history here?
You just declined. It just doesn't say anything.
Slate, you gain inspiration.
Oh!
Neat.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty great. Maybe even inspired.
Let's take that energy towards the road, and Ren will start.
I will untie everyone from me.
Okay, sounds good. All right, we'll get one more perception check. As you guys have been going for about 6 hours here, kind of in the later leg of the day, of the normal like waking active day, even though it's permanent daytime. Who's going to lead that up? Ren, are you going to keep on that train, or?
Yeah, he's having a great old time.
Okay, yeah, go. Perception check. You got this.
That is a whopping 17.
17. That is pretty whopping. Yeah, you're able to start seeing like outlines of structure of the shrine to Alito, the Mother of Roads, and you also see again multiple like. You're starting to see campsites that were set up and then taken down, things like that. Signs where people have pitched tents, left behind little pieces of luggage or things like that were maybe slowing people down. And as you sort of crest this latest hill, you see the shrine itself in a much more than just an outline kind of way as you're approaching. And you see there is a swath of people around it. Just like a hive of activity around it. Caravans of multiple sizes and shapes, different wagons, horses. You are seeing what looks like some of the mirror blades and even some of the Souls Guard, like out in force, like patrolling around the region. And it looks like it's like a little, like almost tent city that's been set up around it, or refugee camp here. So it's completely transformed from when last you visited, and it was empty and kind of, austerely quiet. So that's what you're seeing.
Any items of value in the discarded luggage as we're going by?
Not to immediate eye. Some of them are just like trunks that have just been like left behind.
Annette will look at the people. Does she see her parents or anyone she recognizes?
Make a perception check. With disadvantage because you've been sunlight.
Disadvantage. We don't need the disadvantage. That's a 3.
It's just a big milling crowd of people. They're all kind of blurry in the light, so it's hard for you to see.
I guess seeing and Nick kind of like looking around, I'll activate my goggles again and give it a look, see if I recognize
Give it a whirl. Go
someone.
for it.
Oh, I don't have to do a disadvantage.
Yep. You do not.
Well, that's okay. They're both still terrible.
Okay.
That's a 10.
A 10. You see some one wagon looks much like another. With these, they they don't seem like Vianthan traveling troubadour type wagons. They seem more like repurposed, supply train kind of wagons. Much similar to what you saw overturned when you battled the Kenku there.
Do I see a guard close by?
This is still
Pretty far away.
Still a fair distance, just
Okay.
close enough that you can start recognizing objects with distinction.
Okay. I guess my strategy would be to, when we get closer, see a guard and say, "Hey, is anyone from Bright Meadow here?"
Yeah, you can. So as you approach, you see one of the patrols. You see several what look like sort of scout cavalry patrolling the area overall, as well as defensive positions that have been set up by a few forces. And it's good to see at least a response, if a slow one, from the military, given that this has all been going on for a couple days, as you know, couple turnings. But you flag down and you actually see Scout Captain Fela there, who sort of inherited Captain Ulcidides' position after he fell prey to the mind effect of the sort of animalistic behaviors from Bright Meadow. And she sort of reins in. It is good to see that you have returned from your mission. I trust that things did not go as bloodily as they could. Two of your number are...
was not related to the village.
I see.
That was a run-in with the
one.
The caravan breaker.
She points to the Kenku. We've been hearing of reports. Yes, I'm sorry that a few of the Bright Meadow caravans also fell prey to such antics.
We'd hoped to turn him over to Hugart Dan because he attacked his people. Are they here?
Hugart and many of the others once they received an escort, continued on to the Shining City. Okay. I believe they left this morning, but it is possible you might be able to catch them up. I hear that there is a fair bit of traffic and line waiting involved in getting in the city at the moment, above my pay grade. But in any case, I do know that a few Bright Meadow folks are still remaining, including your parents. They were one of the later caravans, last in fact, to leave Bright Meadow, having waited for you a little bit, and decided to carry on. I'm sure they'll be overjoyed to see you well. We take what we can get. That's what I've been telling myself. And she still seems pretty not super comfortable with command. And as she's saying that, another more senior looking individual sort of Scout Captain, come, we must finish the patrol. And she's like, yes, coming, sir. And sort of, I'm glad to see you all well. May your rest of your journey serve you safely.
So we keep the murderer?
I am sure that we will be able to, if you carry on to the shrine itself, we will be able to deal with that.
Okay.
She kind of gallops off, joining the patrol. Go ahead.
Up to the shrine, post haste.
Let's go.
Yeah, so you're like wading through multiple shadecloth tents that have been set up. People sleeping in their caravans or wagons and things like that with little tarps and things that they've set up, makeshift beds of any kind. And you're seeing a lot more people than just what Bright Meadows population probably account for. As well as some citizens that you recognize, including many people who are sort of, still making the animal noises and stuff like that. Getting all the noises, including Captain Ilcidides there. But you're actually seeing many of them being herded away by another group of soldiers. They're all sort of like penned in and are being like escorted into closed, what look like wagons with iron bars, and are shade-clothed around.
Could I potentially get close to Captain Ilcidides?
He's in like a pen area and being loaded into these specialized caravans, but what did you have in mind? Did you want to try and sneak up or just like approach?
I wanted to approach because I wanted to try something.
Okay, yeah, you approach.
Okay.
You do see some guards, sort of, and one of them, one of the mirror blades, sort of says, "Stay back. They've been spitting a lot lately." And on cue, you just hear like, and just like a individual spitting on the floor there.
Yeah, that's lovely. I wanted to. I talked to the captain in Bright Meadow, and I was hoping to. I wanted to try something, maybe to help. I don't know if it'll work, but I wanted to try.
Well, not much of what we've been trying has been working, but I knew Captain Ilcidides. He was a good man, so make it quick.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to him and try to cast Lesser Restoration, see what happens.
Okay. You cast it, and you feel like a eruption of pins and needles running up your arm, and
burst into donkey ears.
you just sort of see him like, and the soldier immediately like intervenes, like, that's enough. Whatever you're doing is distressing him. I appreciate your attempt. He'll go to the asylum, and we will do where the caretaker's there. We'll be able to do further advanced attempts to revive his mind, as they have been doing for the others.
Okay. Thank you. I'll wander back to the group.
I'll go up to the soldier. Do you happen to have a shovel?
I do not, but I believe that they have some spades in the shrine. I imagine if you ask around a few people, they probably have shovels with them.
Can I tell you a trick that might help you?
What did you have in mind?
If you were to dig in this area, probably down about 3 to 4 feet, you might find a nice type of clay. If you put that clay in their mouth, it will dry it right up. They won't be able to spit for weeks. Watch your fingers, though. They might bite.
I'll keep that in mind, but I'd worry about being bitten at that point.
Kind
But
of pat on the shoulder.
thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Freaking grandpas, man. He continues just like helping escort the individuals. So,
That was worth a shot.
yeah, worth a shot for sure. So amidst all the milling about, while you guys are doing that, what are you two doing?
Aneka's probably just trying to look to see if she can see her parents in the melon.
Okay.
Slate would probably, I guess, follow her and try and help because there's nothing else he could be doing.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Hope you're watching the murderer.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's watching murderer.
Nah, we just let him go. He's off in the crowds.
20.
20?
Am I or she?
You two.
Oh, I forgot to roll disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage.
7. Ooh, slightly less.
6.
So as you guys are kind of aimlessly looking about and kind of trying to find it, you see Nadia approaches you. She's, "Oh, little Weaver, it's so good." She just immediately embraces you in a big hug. "We were worried, so sick about everything." And she kind of looks and sees like your, tired and emotional face. And she, what has happened?
Walter took my friends. And she starts
honey.
crying.
Okay, come in. let's go see Mother, and we'll go and just take a moment. And you, sir, you can come with if you'd like. And who's your? She's pointing to Needlebeak, who I believe was with you.
You know, maybe I hang out here with this guy. He's probably not the best for emotional reunions.
Right, exactly. Okay. Yes. Well, come on now. Come on now.
Right, I'll be out here if you need me. Me and Needlebeak.
So you're like pushing kind of through people as she's leading you, and Bria is there. This woman Goliath, muscular. She's still got that, missing, crushed hand, and but her ribs look a little bit better, a little less dented. And she's oh, little wee, come, and just gives you a big hug and listens to you, and kind of just tries to calm you down and rubs your back and fingers in the hair and all that kind of stuff, all the soothing motherly motions that you grew up being comforted by, and begin to start doing some just like weaving together in front of you and passing it kind of back and forth in an old ritual that you guys would do, where you'd each put a stitch or a loop in and then do a couple and pass it down. And
Use the
three of
right
you.
word, Nicholas.
I know. It's just like I don't know.
Megan's face.
Yeah. In any case, terminology with this is not my strong suit, but you are they're going through this calming experience, and you take a lot of comfort in it, so calm down a little bit. And she says, look, well, whatever happened, the important thing is that you're here and you're safe, and you have done, we are so proud of you for what you have done. You went and faced something terrible and tried and made, by the labor of your own hands, worked to make us safer, and we cannot tell you how proud of you we are.
You're proud of me?
Yes, so proud. So very proud. And they kind of pull you in again for another hug. If what I understand is true, Nadia is sort of talking a lot because Bria's still a little wincing from the hugs, which hurt. If what I understand is true, then I am sure you will do your utmost to find your friends again, and you will find them. It's okay. It's okay. And while I am no expert, I'm sure you will be able to find some resources, and it seems that your friends are resourceful, and I'm sure they will be able to manage in the interim as well. I'm sure that things will work out okay.
Okay.
So just hang in there, and as you see, you can take action and make what you want better. Make things better, and that's what you'll need to do, and I'm sure that you will do that. And how could you do any less? You're so wonderful. So you enjoy a nice moment there. Was there anything you wanted to do or say in particular, or were you just sort of overwhelmed by the reunion there?
Sort of overwhelmed. After a bit, she'll take out the lavender shawl she took from the shop and sort of start working on it.
Oh, I'm so glad you kept that one. I was so happy with how it was turning out. I'm sure you'll do an excellent job finishing it.
Are you sure you don't want it?
No, of course you do it. That's so wonderful. I think we're gonna be a little bit before we're back to capacity. And a gesturing with like bandaged stump.
She'll sort of kind of lay on Bria's shoulder and probably stay there for a bit more.
Yeah, so that you enjoy a nice comforting time with them amidst the bustle. And one of the guards comes over to you, Slate, and notices you have a chained captive. And he says, "Sir, are you aware that holding captive another sentient individual violates the laws of the Radiant Reach?"
Right, so speaking of violating laws, this here is a brigand. And we were actually just kind of looking to pass him off to the authorities here. So he's one of the Vulture's men.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no. Can he make an insight check? Because I'm not lying.
Go make a persuasion check.
9.
9?
Yeah.
I see. Well, I appreciate you apprehending this particular individual. Do you have any verification that indicates that this is indeed one of the Vulture's men, as you put it?
No.
Indeed. Well, it's far be it from me to be the commanding officer on such matters. Commander Sprint! Commander Splint. And you see like a sort of burlier looking, balding man kind of come over. Yes, Corporal? Sir, this, what was your name?
Slate, mate.
This Slate mate.
My name, sorry, mate. Slate, just Slate.
This Slate says that he apprehended a brigand, one of the Vulture's accomplices. Ah, I see. Well, I suppose that we can overlook this particular encapturing moment, as we did have good intelligence, and he kind of that such individuals were adding to the problems of the road. I don't imagine a long future for this one. He kind of pulls apart some of the cloth that the Kenku is wearing, and he sees that symbol, and says, "Yep, confirmed. Thank you for your assistance and for upholding the law. We will take it from here."
All right, here's the rope. Actually, can I get the rope?
Takes a knife, cuts it off,
Oh,
like halfway.
Slate. You're welcome.
As you were. And they hustle him off.
No.
And he is like, Needlebeak is like struggling and looking back, like, as much as possible.
Sorry, mate. You kill people. You gotta pay up for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's bound, and they're two burlier soldiers, so they're easily able to, like, escort him to wherever. But, wherever they're taking him, I should say. But it seems like they're heading off some distance towards, like, a little copse of trees.
Oh no. That
Just
looks
going
like,
to a ranch in upstate New York. It's fine.
It's too far away though. Can't visit. Okay. Well, I will vacate.
Okay. Are you going in, or are you just kind of milling about with the rest?
It's funny as like joining the group hug would be.
There's plenty of other people inside, like, moving around and stuff like that. Like, the place is packed on the inside. You can see through the windows and things like that. People are sprawled out on the floors, the tables, like, as much dimensionality as can be used as, like, bedding and stuff like that. And then there's, like, troughs that are set aside for walking paths for people. But otherwise, there's, like, very little visible wood remaining in this otherwise wooden structure, sort of leaning.
The other two know where we are, so I'll just hang out, I guess, just inside.
Okay, yeah. It's a huge bustle of people, including some people that you do recognize from just, like, passers-by in Bright Meadow, but nothing else too immediately standing out. You do see Kesselid, the Vianthan man, moving around and kind of trying to do his best to get people settled and cook meals and things like that. It looks like he's bustling about trying to serve big pots of not great smelling stew or soup that he's ladling into bowls and handing out to people.
Slate has experience doing that. I'll go help.
Okay, you just go up and start helping, and he kind of gives you a nod. Good to see you again. These roads, I have rarely seen them so bad.
We almost got the, I like to think we almost got the Lord of Vultures, but he got away.
He has a habit of, he kind of shifts, hiding the brand that was burned onto his neck. He has a way of doing that.
I always thought he had one bird mate, but he had three.
Yes, I'd prefer not to talk about him, really.
Right. Sorry, a little insensitive of me. You took some of my friends too. We can commiserate. By
yes.
Suit.
Yes, let's just carry on. And he continues to do what he's doing. You two, what are you guys up to?
Excellent.
I would presume we would head off and look for the other two.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you're able to find them
He
quickly enough.
stands out.
Yeah, Slate definitely stands out, and Bria, Nadia, and Anetka, group hugging and stuff like that are also drawing some attention. And you see, them kind of reconvening and everything. And Bria says, "Well, I am sorry for what became of you on the road, and for what it's worth, we lost Leska and a few others, and it's very hard. But I'm sure that you will do your utmost to retrieve those. It seems like they were taken alive, and when there is life, there is yet hope. We used to say in the South. In any case, perhaps you'd like to stay with us. We have a little space carved out inside, in fact. My injuries warranted that, at least. And we'll be able to carry on all together to the city, perhaps, unless you'd like to go on ahead. I understand if we are going to slow you down.
Because looking to group.
It might be useful for... Well, no. I would worry about us not being able to get back into the city as a group. Yeah, well, we should stick together.
Okay.
Where's the murder bird?
The what?
He went to a farm in upstate Solni.
So
It's really far away. You've never been there.
So
You can't visit.
Yeah, they tried that about one of the sheep we had. It doesn't work.
Hand on face.
Did you kill him?
So he kills people and he gets to go on vacation.
It's a saying, Grandpa. The soldiers took him.
They did. They took him right to it. Well, yeah, he's
He's been taken care of.
Okay. Has anyone seen my advertisement that I
Make a perception check.
That is a 20-something.
Okay. You do see you're on the bulletin board beside all of the wanted posters of Arcturus, the Lord of Vultures, Caravan Breaker, and some just other mishmash, less official looking bandits and things like that. Other groups clearly opportunists taking advantage of these other travelers in their wounded state. You do see underneath a few of them, it's kind of been papered over a little bit with so many other wanted boards, but it stands out, flashing even through the paper that covers it. Just sort of come to Tristophan's, get 10% off using code ARTIFICES.
Yeah, I forgot we did that.
Just sitting there grumbling, taking the other pages that were on top of it off. Let's get this out of here, this track.
As they float to the ground, the wanted posters posted by the military during this terrible time. But the flashing poster remains strong and bold.
Oh, I'm glad to see it.
As you guys are sort of settling in otherwise in this little spot that's been sectioned off, it's tight, to say the least. Plenty of people have already kind of dozed off. Kesselid comes by with a bowl for Bria and Nadia, and he says, travelers, I'm happy to provide what we have, but it's going quickly. If you do have rations of your own, I would appreciate if you consumed them, as we've been taking refugees for a little bit now, and food's running pretty scarce. Not everyone was able to make it out with provisions. So if you're able to do so... by the way, and he kind of reaches into his pouch and he hands a letter to Neil.
Oh, no.
Boy. Okay.
This came for you.
Okay.
And I was told to hand it should you make a return journey.
Okay. We'll eat our rations, but I'm gonna give him 2 gold.
I'm going to give him 2 gold. Oh, thank you so much. Very generous, very generous. I'm sure we'll be able to put it to good use here. Certainly supplies and things like that are running thin, so it's nice to know that we have some patrons who are willing to support the shrine.
Are you sure? Don't you owe your grandpa some money?
With the money we found in the house, the loan is... we have enough to pay it back.
All right.
It's fine.
Won't tell you what to do with your money.
I'm trying to be nice, Grandpa. Okay? I'm trying to be nice.
Well, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So it's pretty packed in here, full of people without tents and such like we have. Maybe we should not take space.
Yeah, maybe we should. We have some tents. If you want to stay with your parents, but
Yeah.
I'll sleep outside in one of the tents.
Okay. Just as a quick thing about the letter, it's sort of a yellowed paper, and it has an ornate yellow wax T as the seal.
A wax. Do I recognize?
Like a wax letter T.
Oh! I think I know who this is. Maybe. I'll wait till I'm outside and type know who it is.
Okay. So you wait until you've got a nice little moment. You guys have set up your a couple shade cloth tents. I think the party has 2 of them between you guys. So they're 2-person. They're 2-person either each.
It's a 1 person per slate.
Yeah. Slate has
Renastus has the one Tennille bought, so...
Yeah. So you 2 can share. And Slate's got his own because he's 8 feet. Yeah. It's like sleeping on a child's bed, just curling as much as possible, your feet dangling out. I'm gonna get sunburned toes.
Dotos.
Oh, inside campaign 0 jokes. All right, so you open the letter.
Okay.
It's written in a very flowing hand, although some like angrily ink splotches are on it. It reads, "Adventurers and bedfellows, I find it most peculiar you have dallied off in a pursuit of mystical nonsense rather than adhering to the time-sensitive duties that you have agreed to take up upon in my behalf. Might I remind you that the Lord of Lumens himself is not a compromising or gentle man." And he's like underlining certain sections to add emphasis. "We have little time to waste to recover the lost materials. I can stave off any dangerous questions at the coming mid-year's turning quota, but it is a closer shave than I would prefer. And who is to say how long it will take you to recover the stolen property from those southern knaves? I urge you to reconsider your priorities before Lord Tychomir does so for both of us. In waiting anticipation, Tara flees Rohan."
Here. Idiot, put it in writing.
Wow, he had real trouble spelling anticipation.
Nice.
Scratched.
He scratched out. He could only afford the one piece of fancy paper.
Alright, I'm gonna fold that and keep it somewhere nice and safe on my person because I feel like that is incriminating.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna try to wrap
Oh, good. Goodness.
wrapping stuff. I'm gonna try to wrap my goggles in the spare shade cloth hat I have to
Okay.
keep them dark so they can recharge.
Okay, clever. I like it. Nice. All right. So you do so. Is there anything else that anyone wants to do before kind of end of the day long rest situation?
Let me check on something. Aneka, she might not be able to get both the tents, but she'll take out the drop spindle, spin a very fine weave of yarn, and ritually cast alarm, and probably in front of Ren and Tennille's tent, because...
Are you staying with your moms though?
Yeah, staying with my mom's, but wanting to
Take precautions.
take precautions.
Sure. Nice. Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that, and you sort of get the woven, glimmering thread that's going around and then fading.
Ren's gonna dig through his bag and pull out what looks like a pot. Put it on. Take out some ingredients. Pour it into the pot. I'm just gonna let this roast overnight, and we'll see what we get in the morning.
Sounds
You don't
good.
mind an open fire by your bedside, do you?
I don't really sleep, so it's okay.
Could you make sure it doesn't boil over? It could be.
I'll try.
It could be. I don't want to say disastrous, but it might be bad. Good night.
So you're on watch, and he's going to bed. That's what's happening.
Cool. Okay.
Is anyone else staying up for watch? Especially those of you who are sleeping outside. The inside's going to be.
I'm an early riser if you would like to trade off.
That sounds good.
Okay.
I'll, like the three of us, I guess go mid, by the sound of it. If you're going first and you're going last.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so why don't you each do perception? Well, we'll just start with Tennille. Go ahead and do a perception check.
Disadvantage.
No, you're in a tent.
Oh, I am in a tent. Ha!
Shade cloth tent, man. Shade cloth. You have perception.
No!
It's 22.
22. I mean, it's not a lot of pleasant sounds coming from the outside, crying children, coughing, moaning from pain, things like that. It's a little harder. And you're hearing the sort of patrolling soldiers through the night, or through the rest period, as the turning shifts over. But your watch...
Can I do
Sure.
something retroactively?
Oh, yeah.
When we were in with Anika's parents, can I toss a healing word at Bria before we leave? Because she's still looking pretty rough, right?
She's looking rough. You get the sense that she needs more serious long-term healing to really make a difference.
Okay, if that's okay, if that's fine then.
Yeah. But I like the thought. Do you do anything with the pot?
I'll just kind of... What does it smell like? I'm curious.
What does it smell like, Fred?
Mutton.
Oh, okay, so it's actual food. Or is it tea?
It just smells like mutton.
meaty.
It's meaty. Get it?
Oh my gosh.
I'll keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't boil over or, boil dry or just
Yeah.
Watch Potter boys. These people.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, you hand over your watch to Slate, who's in a different tent, but it does not boil over in the time or have any disastrous effects since then. So, Slate, go ahead and give you your perception check. Again, it's mostly auditory with the tent, so you don't have to do disadvantage.
Nice. That's actually not too bad. That's 16.
Okay. You just sort of get the impression of impatience coming from somewhere in the back of your mind. But otherwise, the watch passes without event. Similar situation, patrols, drawing people and stuff like that. But you feel relatively secure that the patrols are going to have most of it handled if there are things coming from the external side of things. Anything else you'd like to do?
Worried.
Worry.
Alone in your tent, you are worried.
That resonates so much.
You just take out that note that Flo wrote to you saying, "Thanks for carrying this, buddy."
Use that as like a marker in the book.
Oh, you miss your bestie.
But that passes. Your watch passes without event. Renastus, you wake up, give your cauldron a few stirs.
And that's a 20-something.
27.
No, 20-something, sorry. It's a 23.
23.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, that's so bad.
Still pretty good. Still pretty good. You're hearing some murmurs, some people trying to get an early start as an exit. It seems like they're doing like a rolling exit situation with some of the soldiers escorting different caravans and things like that. But overall, it feels like it's a somber mood, but it feels at least somewhat secure. You're used to kind of finding some security in the Souls Guard and the Mirror Blades, and it's nice to see, like I said earlier, that the military is taking like an active role now in some of the things. It's worrying, of course, for the more like broader implications, but it is at least nice to see in this instance that you don't have to worry about being assailed, things like that. Go ahead and roll your d6 to see what you get.
Yeah, I'm going to go up to my pot and dunk my ladle in and... and I'll pour it a little bit into a vial. It wasn't what I expected, but it will do. And I'll just kind of cap it and put it to the side and have it all cleaned up so by the time Danielle wakes up, no evidence.
There's some strange lingering smells.
Can I use... Does prestidigitation take smells out of stuff? I feel like I need to fumigate the tent now.
It smells weird.
Yeah. It smells like fog machine. You know that like weird fog machine smell?
It's a little hazy too.
Yeah. But it's a tent. It's you can aerate it at some point, turn it inside out.
Get some incense going in here to smudge the tent.
But with that, you guys get long rest benefits. So full heal, shift spells around, get hit points and hit dice back, all that good stuff.
Do I want to press?
Yeah, if you had it.
Well, we don't have it.
Unfortunate, but Bria and Nadia are up early, as they always are. Say, all right, little Weaver, I think it's time for our... Come on, up you get. Just because we don't have sheep to feed doesn't mean that we shouldn't get an early start to the morn. It'll be a long wait to get into the city, from what we hear, and we want to make as early of a start as we can. I believe with you escorting us, we probably won't need a soldier's guard, which will maybe improve our speed, as they tend to be larger and slower caravans that are escorting with platoons. So, shall we make our exit? Are all your friends ready? Let's go get them.
I mean, Tennille's probably sleeping in.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't be. He doesn't really sleep.
Oh, if he's rooming with Grandpa would be like,
Oh my gosh.
Just like come out of my meditation. Yes, Renastus.
oh, good morning. Glad to see you are bright and
Good.
sunshiny.
Good morning.
Are we ready to get up and take on the day today? Seems like the sun is nice and bright as usual.
The sun that never moves.
Bless his soul.
Yep. It is Soul, that's correct. There you go.
We'll be like, yeah, let's go out and see them. Morning, Grandpa.
Oh, good morning.
Morning, Tennille. Morning, Tiny.
Let's go.
No, I do have a name, Despite what Tennille thinks.
But I
yes,
like
right, I know. Yeah.
It's I only give nicknames to people I like.
Speaking of names, what do we think of Seablood and the Raven? They did not introduce themselves as such. And I haven't been given a cool name. Is that cool?
I don't have a grandpa, so yes.
Oh.
And like that.
Bria's like, this is sweet. I could throw up. Let's go.
See, she makes sense.
Always a sentimental type.
That's right. She kind of ruffles your hair.
Isn't it? She's like, what, a 6.5 or 7.5 feet tall Goliath?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure is. It's like a lean down.
The Raven I get, but what does Seablood even mean?
I mean-
Is that just water?
She's very blue.
She's blue, like she did that water thing with the beehive.
Don't bring that up. I have forgotten it.
You alright there?
And,
Clearly you have.
and now I'm angry all over again.
Can I pat your shoulder? It's alright,
You have a
grandpa.
thing for beans.
I do. Maybe on our trip down or up, rather. I don't know which direction we're in.
Okay, so, yeah. Bright Meadow is here on the map. I don't know how well it's shown up here. I'll open it a little. So Bright Meadow is here, and Solni is here, so the sort of northeast of where you guys are
Maybe
currently.
on the trip up.
And you're in the sort of middle ground to get to the shrine. So.
I can give you a primer into some of my extensive photosynthetic insect research if you would like to hear about that.
Well,
This is going to be a long journey.
We have much to talk about.
while he's talking, I'm gonna cast Aid on myself, Renostus, and Anipka.
Nadia's like, just come on, dear, come on. Kind of like pushing Bria a little bit farther down the road.
I would love to hear about your bee research.
You see, and it's just on and on. You are due to UV stress, blah 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 blah.
Slade's just gonna open his brain and just let it all float back.
And that's when I told my advisor, aha, I'm onto something, blah 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 blah.
Indeed, it is a long journey. Listening to Ren, but
And
seems to be enjoying himself.
Yeah, occasionally Netco elbow one of her parents, like, isn't that cool? Isn't that cool?
Very cool, honey. Very cool.
You each,
Super cool.
your hit point max increases by 5, and you have 5 health back.
So, can I? Pretty
Is that temporary hit points?
No, it just your hit point max increases, and then you get 5 points for 8 hours.
She's giving you 8.
So I gave you 8.
Or he is.
I'm just gonna write, I get 8.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry.
Who wants to head up the sort of perception-y thing?
Not Ren.
Anetka's enthralled, so probably not her either.
Bria's keeping an eye out.
I'll help Bria.
Okay, go ahead and make a perception.
Slade
check.
will stop Bria and then.
That's an 8.
Okay.
Nice.
She's like looking around. She's got like a pretty hefty looking hatchet that's like Goliath scale that she's like resting her good left hand on, but nothing kind of. You get the sense, and you can tell by some riders in the distance and stuff like that. This is a well-trafficked area now by the military, back and forth to try and ferry more people into this the safety of the city. You wanted to say something?
To Bria, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Bria, mind if you and I have a conversation? Just you and I for a moment.
Sure.
Sorry, I know. So you remember when we first met? You said some, I don't know, something about some Goliath-y thing. So it turns out, I don't really remember much. And when I responded in turn, that was because of, I felt like socially obligated to do so. I don't actually know what that meant. And it's not like I did, memory's a bit hazy, or which I'm totally gone. Just if you could bring me up to speed.
It is not for a non-elder to teach customs.
See, I already just learned something. Thank you.
It would probably benefit you to seek out one of the clan elders. Primarily they dwell in the south, but I would urge you valor through strength of arms, loyalty to friends, and of course, family and clan.
Yeah, that all sounds pretty spiffy.
Indeed. Very spiffy.
Well, I feel like I may have stepped on some toes here, but thank you.
Very well, yes. She's a little surly to non-Anetka people. Particularly, she's not super patient with your whole, forgotten memory, remind me of my culture situation that you've got going on here.
He hasn't met any of Goliath yet, so...
It might benefit you to brush up on your skills. We have some oral and written traditions that you could perhaps research that may serve you so that you don't muddy the waters and dirty the ice before you break it.
So you don't have to fool.
Don't eat my own foot. Yeah, got it.
Yes. In any case, perhaps we better travel in silence.
One last question. How are you seeing so fine? It looks like you're looking around, no issues. It's freaking bright out.
Yeah, I have adjusted over time. Yes, it's true. I've lived a good portion of my time in the north, and I have adjusted most of my life.
Alright, well, thanks for the information. I'll quickly move away.
So, with a surly kind of tone, at least in that particular case, but you guys are able to travel along for a good distance without any major event. You are seeing and passing some caravans that are more soldier escorted. You do see a couple other adventuring parties escorting or gathering information around some of the soldiers and things like that. One sort of trails off to sort of the directly west, away from the road. After speaking with some of the soldiers escorting one of the groups. But otherwise, your journey continues over the next several hours, and you reach...
And what was that? About the bee dances? Can you go back and cover that more?
Yes.
Why don't we travel in silence for a little bit?
Well,
why?
In just one moment, we can.
It's not like we're talking about weaving here.
It's more important than.
That seems too far.
I agree. Let's move on.
Do you need to eat? Because if you eat vegetables, then you have to thank those precious little bees that Flo massacred.
I prefer meat myself, but in any case, let's just not talk about it. Where's that lavender? Where's that why don't show me your latest work? That it's coming along nicely. Yes, that's good. Yes, it's nice.
Do you want to see my spinning too? And she'll unhook her drop spindle. And...
Oh yes, very good, very nice.
Are you proud of it?
Of course. Everything that you do is really impressive. I was never skilled in magic craft, and even those that I have met who were certainly did not display it in this particular way. So it's really impressive to see what you've done. And her physicality and her tonality has very changed with Anetka compared to the don't talk to me of kind of the stone wall that you're getting. And Nadia's just sort of like, I'm sorry. She gets like this often when she is recovering or hasn't eaten a good venison steak or anything recently.
She gets angry. Got it.
Yeah, something like that, you could say.
Should we stop for lunch?
Why don't we keep moving and make the journey as best we can, but maybe a brisk 10-minute break just to snack on something would be good.
Do you guys need rations? I've got rations.
Oh yes, jerky, thank you. Tears into it. So you guys break for lunch. It's short. Just get some shade, which is a big deal. Get a wet cloth, and Bria's kind of getting a wet cloth and just rubbing herself down, getting some of the sweat and just cooling off. But after breaking for a little bit, you get some food, carry on, and after another few hours, you reach the long train of people in line to enter the city gates. You see the gleaming golden yellow walls of the Shining City, and you can see the huge crowds of folk milling and lining up in multiple ordered lines, and then a large swath of shadecloth tents that expand out to one side, even vaster than what you saw at the shrine by an order of magnitude at least. You can tell that some people are being moved away from the gates to this area, while others are being passed through. Near the head of the space, you can spy Hugart Dan, who seems to be shepherding a few of the townsfolk through, and stuff like that. But you're kind of stuck in line for another, got at least another hour wait minimum in line as you guys are going through. If no one wants to do anything particular in this time, slowly as you guys, the sun beats down on you guys, and as you get closer, they have like shadecloth awnings set up, but it's not enough to span the whole space. You can definitely tell that a lot of people are being dispossessed and set to this side, turned away from the gate. But it seems like Hugart Dan is still there, and it seems like he's shelling out, paying for some of the townsfolk to get into the city.
I'm gonna kind of whisper or quietly ask Bria and Nadia if they saw the money I gave them for getting in.
Yes, we do. We did indeed make sure that we held on to that. Thank you. And you eventually reach, seems like there's a Souls Guard gate captain, sort of a human female in her 40s, iron gray hair. She's got heterochromatic eyes, one green and one blue. She's got sort of 3 facial scars, like claws, on her left cheek. She's got the Souls Guard colors of lavender and goldenrod, and a chain of 2 interlocking suns to indicate rank, sort of draped over one shoulder. And she seems to be kind of giving a hard time to some red and white-haired Vianthan people who are in front of her. She's like, have you had any contact with Shadviran citizens, agencies, or affiliates? Do you have? And you're like, no, we haven't. We came from the south, but nothing farther than Nerwal. She's like, that's in the Shadviran reach. Kind of giving them a harder time. Do you avow to embrace Soul's bright and shining light, shirking any ties to the southern shadow? I'm like, yes, please, just let us inside. We paid our way. Come on. And they're kind of just like, very well, get on through. And Hugart Dan sees you guys approach. And he's kind of setting to the side. He's like, oh, good, finally. Yes, you're one of the last of the able-minded who were able to return. I made sure to wait for everybody to make sure that they would be able to afford their way in. Have you the gold? It's 5 gold ahead now.
Oh.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we do.
Yes. How much did I give them? I don't remember.
I think you give them 4, but Anetka will
Okay.
toss the extra 6 towards them.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes, that is interesting. And the lady sort of... Next, step up, come on. So, 5 gold head entry. Gate fee, tax has gone up. Of course, the Solnian government will be putting that money to good use, helping the dispossessed, helping those victimized by these terrible circumstances. Have you anything to declare? Any association with the South?
I live here.
Of course. Very well. Pay your way in, and we'll send you on your way.
Give her my 5 gold, and that's...
Yeah, she didn't say it like particularly to you, just the group at large.
Well, I kind of like, we live here. Here's our money.
Yes.
Very good. Everyone has to pay in and out every time.
Yes. Any of this money going to help maybe the people in the salt marshes? Or the salt holes?
That's the idea. Getting the money to as many people as we can. And you hear, and she's like, wait for it. And you hear from the back one of the crier stones kind of resounding through the gate walls. In these trying times, look to the labors of the radiant Archon and our wondrous city's new greater benefits. Every 9th turning shall feature a free food and wine supply day spread via official carts certified throughout the city. Our citizens need never fear going hungry.
Uh-huh. Oh, it's a wonder that hasn't been true the whole time.
I didn't know people only needed to eat every 9 days.
So, is there no discount for adventurers that come and go, and helping out, clearing out things? Because we are.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, no.
What about a senior discount? I meet the usual age requirements.
Total of 20.
Total of 20. I'm sorry, there's no senior discount, I'm afraid, but have you any evidence that you have helped clear out dangers to
I mean, are you
the Radiant Reach?
Are you familiar with the Lumoria program?
Of course, I live here. I've heard many announcements.
Is Dan still nearby?
Yeah.
He pull him. He sent us to go take care of the flickered
Oh
things
goodness! Oh
that
yes.
were
Yes,
attacking
it's true.
Bright
It's true.
Meadow.
I can vouch for their veracity. They did indeed work to buy us time against some of the flickered beasts that were besetting us. So I really do think that if you're able to, and he's kind of wringing his hands, I really do think if you're able to, it seems only fair that they earn a little bit of a lenient sentence, as it were.
Hey, Janelle, show him the Lumoria stone.
Oh, yeah, pull it out.
Yeah, that's the 5th one I've seen today.
You know.
But fair enough. 4 gold ahead.
It helps.
That's a sizable discount.
And you also hear again like another crier stone crack open as you're like being led through the gates. As the sort of gatehouse opens and you guys are passing through, and you're seeing like the group beside you with another gate official is being like turned away, like crying and being cast aside here. It sort of says like, as that's happening, you hear the crier stone, "We welcome all races and peoples to our great and shining city's light. Be wary of those who shun our warmth and light."
As I pull my shade cloth hat down a little tighter on my head.
Gosset seems to like no one in particular. I think it's you guys that are doing the shunning.
Maybe you keep those thoughts indoors.
Those are inside thoughts. Like inside voices.
Nothing I didn't expect, Bria says. Come, we must find lodging. I'm sure the places will be quite packed. And you just hear another like... For sanitation and enjoyment, new bathhouses will be constructed along revel dens and in key locations to keep us all clean and safe.
Janelle.
Yes.
Hey. So, can we stay at your uncle's place?
We can ask.
That'd be great.
Just camp in the garden.
Because remember what we did in the salt pools and how they feel about us?
Yes, I know. Well,
I don't want to sleep there.
I don't want
want
to
to
sleep.
wake up.
I don't want to sleep there either.
Oh, did you get up to something in the salt pools?
I mean, nothing.
I thought we told you to avoid that
Well,
location.
we may have accidentally killed a...
Oh, heavens! Little Weaver, we have to have a talk!
It was an accident. But it's the truth of what happened in the situation. They hate us very much so down...
We
And
have.
that's all.
It's fine. It's fine.
Well, I think it's clear that some restitution and honorable efforts might go a long way, wouldn't you say, Little Weaver?
We
We're
helped.
already working on it.
Yeah, trust me, the halfling that ran the inn that the gang was under,
Oh.
she put us to work.
Gretchen is a fierce but tiny thing.
Oh, Gretchen! She serves a mean drink. How's she been doing?
Not particularly great since we killed Patches.
I imagine so. But
Wait, how do you know Gretchen?
there was a time before that I may have frequented a few seedier sinks.
Is this Nadia or Bria?
Bria, sorry.
Bria, okay.
And I'm just looking at her.
What? I like a drink.
I
Your
mean,
mom can have a drink in her own time. I'm a grown woman. Thank you very much.
Mother.
Well, maybe you could tell Gretchen that we're not...
If I see her, I will put in a word.
Thank you. It might save our lives.
Well, we don't have to go back there right now.
Honor by your own hands will carry you far farther.
I'll start leading them home.
Okay.
On the way, I would like to try to stop at a store or a... well, I need to sell something. I'm not sure Stefan is going to buy something from me.
What about that lady at the House of Lard? Maybe we'll sell her.
She's not interested.
She seemed really interested.
No, she told me explicitly that she was not.
She read the
Playing
room.
hard to get.
Read the room.
I
Read the
swear.
room.
You know, I don't What's your experience?
I have no
And-
idea.
That's when someone tells you that they're not interested, take their word for that.
Okay, so you're entering the southern section of the city. Tradestow Ward.
I have a
Gate.
scimitar I want to sell. If I can find some place to do it on the way, great. If not, that's okay.
Yeah, you should be able to find something sort of along where that Glint Top Ward section kind of butts up against that region. You do notice that the Scoven Loans and Lending booth seems to be getting a lot of business as you're moving past. But you make your way over to one of the clanging and clinging of Smith's shop called Sturdy Steel. And you just hear, "Oh, business! What can I do for you?" It's a sort of burly-looking dwarf.
What would you give me for this? And I'll pull up the scimitar I took from one of the patch bowls.
Shoddy work. Nothing special. Seen a lot of action. But good steel's hard to come by. And folk are paying for it. So just have to look up what a scimitar's worth.
I want to say they're like 10 gold, but I don't know if that's correct.
We'll have a look. That is not in there in my knowledge, amazingly. Not the memorized.
No, what do you mean? You don't have that memorized, Nicholas?
I give you a good 12.
Yeah, bargain. Yeah, fine.
Kind of lays the gold down.
Okay.
Is there anything I can produce for you? Sure, it's in lean supply, but of course there's charges all across. But Gleamhammer's work is pretty solid.
I might have some work for you in a few days. I have a broken sword that's not with me, but I might come back.
Ah, gleaming broken sword. That's Gleamhammer's special. That's for sure.
Okay. I will. Yeah.
Come back to Gleamhammer, and it'll be fixed.
So, Mr. Gleamhammer.
Droven.
Droven, sorry. Had to make assumptions. Anyway, do you, by chance, silver weapons?
Yes, he can silver weapons.
Yeah, okay. And do you know what the general going rate for that is?
If you bring me the silver, I can certainly do it for a lesser price, but Gleamhammer can silver it for 120 gold.
And how much is a glaive? How do you not know this, Nicholas?
Not a rule that comes up very often. I'll have to be said. Let's just leave it open since you guys are in the shop area. Going rate's 25 gold from a Gleamhammer product.
Okay. Alright. Thank you. But actually, one more question.
Gleamhammer has one more answer.
Thank you. How much silver do you need to silver a glaive, for example?
A good amount. 100 gold's worth.
And in terms of weight, how much silver is that?
Depends on how much it is pure.
So purity matters too. Okay.
Of course.
Alright, well that's it. Thank you.
Gleamhammer bids you a good day.
Sorry, I have a question.
Okay.
Okay. Are there any other shops or anything that you guys want to have a look at on your way up?
I think Church Defense is like on the other side of the city, isn't it?
We can go a different
We'll
time.
go another day.
Okay.
We have a lot.
You're going
of
with purpose first, and then dealing with the
Yeah.
sort of shopping and other stuff in the meantime. All right. As you guys are moving along, Anetka, you are approached directly by a rather official-looking individual. This individual is wearing a crimson, it's a golden dragonborn of middling years, wearing a crimson robe and has a braided set of ruby-colored beads that are strung across the back of their head in a band that are sort of braided to the middle of their broad back. Golden-eyed, wearing a robe of that same red, and bearing a rod of red crystal that sort of refracts hues of light into a pink and maroon colors.
Guess who's a caster?
He approaches. Anetka, you are hereby formally ordered to register with the Office of Arcane Regulation by stipulation of the limiting law. My name is Wex Isvolith, and I would be happy to escort you to the office directly. You are henceforth given 3 turnings to decide, but bear in mind that you are still held by the law in that period as well. Should you need a copy of the limiting law, I can provide it to you forthwith. If there are choices before you that you can take, of course, if you do not wish to sign on with the Office of Regulation, but those involve setting aside your power and ceasing any further research beyond that which you have already attained, and you will be subject to regular arcane reviews.
Oh,
And Bria's like, don't you talk to... And Nadia's like, just let's go look at some of the shops, dear.
Quite right. I don't know why I'm surprised. I really should have been expecting this. I'll come back in about 3 turnings. We've had a long day, and I think we really need to... Yeah.
Very well. Bear in mind that the law waits for no one, but you, of course, have the 3-turning period to decide. Come find us in the Rainbow Complex, Office of Regulation by the Red Candle. And he kind of hands you a scroll, a copy of the limiting law, should you need it.
Thank you.
I urge you to memorize it. Good day. He kind of swifts his cloak and imperiously marches off.
Turn the law waits for no one.
Raise an
You
eyebrow.
have an authority issue.
Do I?
Can't imagine where she picked that up. Kind of pats the hatchet a little bit.
Can't imagine.
So, you guys are heading up to the Kelnara estate.
This time we'll enter a bit more quietly than the last time.
Okay, so it's a long journey. I mean, you got, it's a long way across one end of Solni and the other. Doubly so because of all the people that you're coming across, and all the people you're having to push through. The city's population seems to have, doubled overnight, comparatively speaking to when last you were here. But you guys make your way, starting to get really weary and drawn out from another day's travel, plus this waiting in line situation, plus getting through the whole city. You pass through hurriedly, past Tradestore Ward, Glint Top Ward, kind of skimming past and seeing the Chronosa, the Clock Tower, and the library, the Rainbow Complex, the 7 candles in the Whitewater Square, and you come to the nice sort of manicured gardens and winding walkways of the Jewels Ward, which seems least touched by the influx of southern individuals moving forward and coming in as sort of immigrants and refugees. You wind through and through Tennille's lead, knock softly after crossing the bridge that over the nice little manicured river and gardens at the 3-story Kelnara family manor.
I mean, technically I could just go in, but I'm going to be nice.
And Lutheus comes to the door. The cousin comes around. Oh, Tennille, you're back! Your snail's got really big. In any case, come in. Did you bring Father's book?
Yes, it's in my bag.
Oh, good. He was asking about it. Anyway,
It's not time to return it yet, right?
come on. And introductions. Who are these fine folk?
These are my parents, Bria and Nadia. This is Tennille's rich cousin,
Lutheus Kelnara at your service.
Lulu.
Well, Lutheus, really. But my father, of course, Galen Kelnara, is off on a few official noble meetings, as it were. But I know he's been working with a few charitable organizations. In any case, come in. I know that he had spoken with Tennille about possibly helping out some friends of Anetka and maybe finding some room for him. So we prepared Tennille's room. So that'll be well set to make sure that everyone has a place to sleep. It's rather spacious, really. And
What
I'm
did you
sure.
do with my stuff?
Oh, I just tidied it up a bit. Father's orders.
Takes up the stairs.
So you bolt up the stairs to your room, up the stairs, and it's a grand space for sure. It has lovely tapestries and paintings, marble, stairway kind of leading up, and manicured plants all across. And Bria and Nadia are sort of craning their necks and rubbernecking around to appreciate this, but they're sort of exhausted, and Bria's still putting on a brave face, but is missing a hand and is severely hurt, and so kind of walking up the steps to follow Tennille into the burst of the room. And then like before with all the shade cloth drapes and stuff like that, that's like all tied back with nice like bright ribbon. And all the shelves with all of your knickknacks and stuff have kind of been stuffed into a few sacks that line the floor.
You just hear an agonized howl coming from the room.
Oh, well, perhaps we shouldn't intrude. And Bria's like, come on, he'll get over it.
What lovely interior decorating, Tennille.
I just go around and like untie all of the curtains and like it's dark again.
I like your choice of ribbon.
Oh, and that was my touch, in fact, but I appreciate your,
It really matches his hand.
Yeah, I thought so too. You know, you gotta break the place up. Tennille, what have I been telling you this whole time? You know, adding a little bit of color won't kill you. You know, just embrace your colorful nature. It's okay. In any case, I'll leave you to get settled. Please pull the bell pull if you need anything. I'm sure I'd be happy to bring some things up. Conjure up a tea or biscuit or something like that.
Lumius.
It's Lutheus, really, but
Lutheus.
mhm.
Forgive.
That's correct. Yes.
Do you have a family attending physician? We have, and I'll gesture to Bria, an injured person amongst us that...
Well, Father knows a thing or two about healing back in his day, but usually he would take us to... he's on pretty good terms with some of the 13ers in the 13 Seats Church and also in the House of Soul. And so both of those, there are some pretty excellent healers there. As far as limb regrowth goes, I'm sorry to say that's a pretty, to my knowledge, a pretty expensive materials endeavor and requiring of an individual with a high degree of skill. Certainly it seems that you're in no danger immediately. Perhaps some additional repairs can be made, but to regrow the limb itself...
Bria, are you comfortable? Are you...
I will manage. I will not be the first of my folk to lose a hand. I wish it had gone to a better foe than a mere beast of burden, but...
Cows are vicious.
Well, yes, we all must learn to adapt during these times, and I still not as good as my left, not as good with my left, but still better than many. And I'll have to figure out something with the weaving as far as things go. But at the rate Annetka's going, maybe she'll be able to take over our business in no time. Kind of gives her a little shoulder check, which nearly knocks you over because you're
It's like an elbow check.
yeah, it's like an elbow check for her. She's like, oh, very good, very good. Well, I will. I'll let Father know that you've come by when I see him. But I think he said he was going to be staying the night in one of the other house meetings. I think he's with the Athamers at the moment.
Is Talia home?
Unsurprisingly, she is not. Busy as usual.
Okay.
So when you say my sail is big, how big is big?
Why don't you just go see it?
You could. I have a tank that I set up that seems to be doing pretty well. Come, I can show you.
Does anyone want to come see my snail?
I would love to see it.
Maybe in the morning. We're gonna just rest here for that, if that's all right with you, Tennille.
I'm gonna gather up all the stuff that Lou moved and put it in my chest, and then I'm gonna take the chest. I'm gonna put my chest in Lou's room.
Oh,
It's like
his is like just fastidiously clean and very well organized. He's like, oh well, I suppose.
you touched my stuff.
Just why don't we set it over here for now and we can talk about this later. Let's go see the snail. And you see a long tank, probably as long as the minis cabinet, but on its side. The snail has grown. It's now about the size of a watermelon, just shell alone, and is sliming along. And he's like, I noticed that it seems to really appreciate underdragon fruit as a special treat every now and then, but I did find a few high nutrient pellets that seem to be working well, and it's secreting an interesting colored slime trail, and you see it's like multicolored slime that it's just like cruising along and moving at a pretty good rate as it like comes up the glass and stuff. I had to get some specially commissioned glass. It's pretty vitriolic acid or something that's in its slime there that's really burned through a couple, and you can see he's got a few like bandages on his hands. Burned through a couple layers of skin and glass, as it were. But in any case, we figured it out in the end. Don't worry about the commission. I've kind of enjoyed it as a pet project, as it were.
Do you mind?
I mean, we can talk about, ownership, considering who's done the lion's share of the work here, but...
I just want a sample of
yes, just wash your hands, okay? You don't want to get some of that on your skin. But, you know what you're doing, you've done with dangerous stuff, so you get in there and get some slime. You're able to get some shimmer snail slime.
Sweet.
The old triple S.
You guys... He's like, well, you must all be pretty tired, and I don't want to keep you up. I myself was just doing some late day reading, as it were, but I was just about to turn in myself. Is there anything else you guys need?
Yeah, thank you for taking care of Mrs. Slimy.
Oh, of course. I believe it's Mr. Slimy, actually. I did a little bit of a test. The females grow quite a lot larger and tend to secrete a different color slime every day. So because it's multicolored, I did some reading. You can tell it's actually a male. It's really interesting.
That is
The breeding cycle is crazy, but we'll get into that another time.
Yes, that shit.
I'll share my notes. Perhaps once you guys have had some rest. I don't want to keep everyone up on my behalf.
Thank you, Lou. And then I'll kind of like clap him on the shoulder.
Oh yes. We can talk about the disposition of your items later. And kind of heads on out.
I'm gonna go to the chest before and grab a couple of things out of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab that sword hilt,
Okay.
the broken hilt, and the little locked box that was in it, and kind of put those on my person, and then
Got it.
make sure follow everyone else back to the room.
Got it. So Bria and Nadia are already out. They've had a long day, and the rest of you feel pretty tired. It's been about a good 10 hours since you left the shrine, so it's feeling like another ready for sleep situation. Does anyone want to take any watches, or are you just all going to go to sleep?
I mean...
Shouldn't need to, but we probably should.
Yeah,
You're feeling pretty comfortable and secure here.
I think we're okay. I'm actually going to make sure everyone's okay, and then I'm going to take my stuff down to the library and do a couple of things, and then just sleep down there.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Anyone else want to do something before they go to bed?
Aneka, still a little worried, will set an alarm up across the door of the room.
Okay. Caution, always good.
I am going to set up my little pot again, and I'm going to take the contents of the flask that I had earlier, pour it in, and try again.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So we'll get to, you guys are going to get a long rest without any problems or any issues. You can go ahead and roll your d6 to see what you get out of your cauldron. Tennille, what do you want to do in the library?
So I wanted to take the books back that I borrowed.
Okay,
return those.
return those, yeah.
But I wanted to...
You make your little mark in the ledger and, all that.
First I wanted to try the little lockbox and try my thieves' tools on it. The little box with all the feet. That was in my chest?
Yes, okay. Yeah, go ahead and make a roll.
Okay, and that's just adding...
Roll and add your dex bonus plus your proficiency bonus if you're proficient with thieves' tools.
I am, and dex is 2 support, so that's 10.
You work at it, and it feels like it's an irregular lock, not something you've come across before.
Okay.
And it certainly feels beyond you at this time.
Alright, and then I wanted to ritually cast Detect Magic and look at that broken sword.
Okay. Yeah, so you cast Detect Magic, and you get the sense that there's some old, faint residual magic left in this.
Okay.
It seems to be damaged in a magical way as well, and it's not like this had a spirit, but if you can imagine that situation where it's like damaged in a magical sense, where its spirit has been broken effectively, meaning that you can tell it would require more than just mundane repairs to serve its original purpose again.
Okay. Okay, yeah. And then I'll just kind of find a comfy chair and just doze the night away.
Yeah.
The turning away that you know what I mean.
The turning away. Yep. Well, everyone gets a long rest benefit.
You lose your 5 points. That health.
And you can roll as you did, Renostus, for your
Yes, I got
elixir there. And then, you guys head on down. Nadia's like, well, let us know if we can do anything. I was going to take Bria to some of the temples and see if we could look at least what healing they do have. Better to be informed than make guesses. And do what we can and perhaps offer some assistance to this Galen, the master of the house here, to earn our keep. Bria always insists, as you know. But in any case, I wish you luck. I know that you will find your friends, and just keep our chins high and our shoulders strong.
Okay.
All right, so the new day has come. What are we doing?
Well, got a few things to deal with. No clue how to find Flo and Chirps, but we have that letter from our friend.
Yeah. We, before we left, the Souls Guard was looking for Shadvir gangs. And we could start there. But we also have an called the Lord Brightstone. We have a considerable amount of information that we could potentially trade for other information or money. It's going to cost us 5 gold every time we come in and out of the city. Money is good.
Mm-hmm.
You...
Yes. My alma mater came a-knocking. I did want to discuss that, so, we're criminals. I think that's very clear.
Hi.
Did you not get that?
No, I thought we were great.
Oh.
That's why we handed the guy up to the law, and that's, we're, on the right side of the law, right?
Sometimes.
We don't remember when we killed Patches. I don't know how many times I have to bring this up.
I prefer you didn't
It's
at
not
all.
like we went in there to kill him. We went to talk, and he's like, no, you're gonna die. So we just...
That was kind of not intentional.
Well, the
But also,
path to hell is paved with good intentions.
to which
The
hell?
hells,
There are
yes.
9 of them.
At least.
But also we're this whole tariff these thing. So without registering, I wouldn't have access to higher level arcane magic, which I think would be well needed for.
I mean, unless we're abandoning the city, you kind of have to, right?
Yeah, I kind of have to.
At least that's how it seems to me. But
What are your guys' druthers?
I mean,
We're already carrying a Lowbright stone around.
it's not like they can't find you if you don't.
Yeah, because they could detect sort of the.
Well, what do they do what happens when you do register? What goes on? Is it just...
Why don't we read the scroll?
Oh, yeah.
The scroll is a reiteration of the limiting law, which talks about the one of the overt functions of the Prismere being the enforcement of its limiting law to ensure the safe and responsible uses of magic. The limiting law is enforced in addition to the laws of the Solnian Reach, often leading to compound sentences for transgressors. The limiting law states the following. All arcane magic users who know magic of a high class, which is 3rd level or higher, must register with the Prismare's Office of Regulation. Unregistered use of high-class magic is punishable by a fine of up to 500 gold and 180 days in prison for a first offense. A second offense is up to 5 years in prison or execution. All sharing, sale, or large-scale production and distribution of magic items, equipment, and scrolls or potions must be registered with the Prismere. Unregistered or unlawful distribution of magic is punishable by up to 200 gold fine, in addition to the profits all being surrendered from unlawful sales and up to 180 days in the arcane prisons.
Oh, I don't have 500 gold.
We don't have 500 gold total.
no, we don't.
I think, and as long as, we try to skirt to the right side of the law, don't do it, don't, bring a big firestorm down onto, a city of innocents,
I don't know what you're talking about.
We would never do such a thing.
Yeah.
Also, just so it's not forgotten, before I forget to say it, that Lowbright Stone was the information bit. When we didn't our friends get kidnapped and we need to find them? And
Yeah.
something about a fox and other
Maybe we could
get information.
go to the Prismere, potentially trade our information for information about the fox and the captain, or just get money, and then go on a information gathering mission to get information both for our obnoxious friend and about our less obnoxious friends.
Still obnoxious. Do we want to start with that? And if we run into dead ends, have the option to use the gold right to get information?
I like that.
That's fair.
So we don't get information we could have found otherwise, and
Or be, out of luck.
That wee man that you two knew, the fancy with the staff.
Brody.
Yeah.
It was a pimp cane, but go on.
Oh,
Oh, what now? I'm unfamiliar with this term.
we'll talk about
You grew up on the streets of the salt marshes. You will get
Salt poles.
salt poles. They're apparently the salt marshes to me.
They are pretty marshy.
Maybe we can ask him about
He's
the captain.
not in the city.
He's in Lunavir.
Never mind.
We could send him a letter.
We could. Do you think that he would? No, I have no idea.
He has his nose into all sorts of places where it doesn't belong.
It's possible, and that's
Can we afford to wait?
What about terrible fleas?
He does have terrible fleas.
What in our key embroidered person?
What?
Don't test an old man's knowledge. You know what I mean.
No.
The fancy lass that teleported away.
oh yes, so that's what we meant about the Shadir gangs.
Oh,
Why don't I ask Lou if he's heard anything? He might not know much, but he could potentially point us in the right direction. The city is very large, and if you haven't noticed, there are many more people here than there normally are. And depending on what he says, we can divide and conquer or stay together. I'm not entirely sure we should divide and conquer.
Hey, that goes poorly.
Yeah.
People get kidnapped. It's a terrible time. Don't do
Yeah.
it.
we also had the cousin who went on a bender and
We can also look for him at the same time, yeah.
It'd be nice to have an adventuring party in our dead,
Yeah.
Ooh.
especially since they're, cream of the crop.
Yes. So why don't we ask Lou if he's heard anything about anything, and then we'll head out into the city.
Okay, so as you prepare to ask Lou about anything, we're going to go ahead and take a break as you've returned to Solni, and it's 8:30, about that time. So those of you watching at home, don't go away. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. Just give us a sec, and we'll be right back. Okay, and we are back to DragonPoetSociety. The party has just left, just returned to Solni and Tennille's uncle, Galen Kilnara's fanciful estate in the rich, fancy part of town, the Jewels Ward, where they've secured housing for Bria and Nadia, as well as themselves. They've discovered the expensive gate fee, and Anetka has been approached to register with the Arcane Regulation Office of the Prismere here. Now, with numerous questions, the party plans to ask Tennille's cousin Lutheus what he might have known as a starting place for where they can begin their search to uncover the whereabouts of one Arcturus, Lord of Vultures, and the fates of Flo and the Cackler, Alistair himself. So, with that, what do you want to ask Lutheus? You flag him down.
Yeah.
He's in the library, unsurprisingly, as
Okay.
you know he would be.
Yeah. So, Lou, we've been in the city for a few days. And, so a couple things, and I'm going to ask you to, A, not tell your father, and B, not pass judgment. So first...
That's a good way to start a conversation.
Just don't ask questions, Lou. So...
Making a statement.
We are, we need to retrieve something for somebody, and, it's tied, this person was robbed by some Shadbeer gangs, a Shadbeer gang in particular. And before we left, the Soulsguard were questioning people about it, but we needed to get out of the city for obvious reasons. Have you heard anything about this?
Well, certainly, I know that there has been much gang activity of late. Certainly, there is much blame being cast on Shadveer and its affiliates, and a lot of questioning eyes are turning their direction in regards to these, what some are calling coordinated flicker attacks. As far as what I know and can say without a shadow of a doubt, I have very little to add to the circumstance. I know that some criminal activity has been noted increasingly in the Werewarrens and of the Guildwater Stalls, and of course the Salthole Canals, but that is likely due to simply to a numbers game, living circumstance, and the large influx of dispossessed people. I'm not sure that has to necessarily do with one particular gang over another. With such, can you offer any more specifics? I might be able to give you a better starting launch pad.
Oh, there was a name. I feel like there was a name. This is Felina trying to remember things. No, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Well, while he is looking through his journal, is there anything else I can help the rest of you with? Something I can be of assistance with? I really do want to help if I can. Of many ambushes being taken place, sort of getting second or third hand stories from guards that I know, or what Uncle Galen, or Father Galen shares with me. Supposedly, he is exactly some sort of Air Genasi nomadic bandit, opportunist, and I can't imagine that this was a particularly easy thing to ignore for someone of his malignant persuasion who is going to prey on those who are dealing with this challenging time. But as for specifics, again, it's not really my area. I'm not much of a traveler myself, and don't really keep up to date with local criminal activity. I do know, after hearing his presence was noted here, I did a little research and found a few records of his exploits to the far southwest along the Aluma Desert line, but I imagine he traveled this way to make use of the flickers and their aftermath as a profitable endeavor to those of less than savory character. Did you find what you were looking for?
all I can seem to remember is this. It's a purple tiefling with keys on her robes.
Keys on the robes. Keys on the robes. You know, I can't say I'm not really an expert in gang related activity. Maybe if I had taken the notes, the name would have been remembered.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, you do have that Lorebright program. If anyone would have such stored information, perhaps you yourself could make use of it.
So there.
But otherwise, I'm not sure that I can grant you much help.
Okay, that's where Warren's is where we were probably going to be headed anyway. Renastus, are you looking through your notes?
I am.
So why am I doing that? So you remember Flo, right? The little blue one?
I do, yes. She was quite vivacious.
Quite. Did she ever mention what ship she came in on?
I don't know that she spoke to me specifically about it, but you might be able to find if she was docked specifically. You might be able to speak to one of the dock masters who would keep a log if you know the date.
Some port records would be great.
Yeah, so look on some port records. I'm not sure that those are accessible generally to the public, but if you offered up something of value, I'm sure a trade information might be of. I myself would give a book, but you might find a better solution to such an individual. That might yield the result that you're looking for.
Remember the name, Cove's Key.
Cove's Key. I can't necessarily say that I know that one myself, and of course, Father is not here to unlock the sort of restricted section, but I would say that I do know that there are the Night Cove is a location in the waters south of Shadvir, so perhaps this is as you said, a Shadviran gang, perhaps a water-bound gang, although that's quite a lot of sailing if they came all the way around to this direction, so I'm not really sure. I don't know that the Shadviran gangs have had such a strong reach and activity in this region. If that's the case, then they perhaps changed their strategy. Again, this is all academic appreciation and understanding. I don't really have any specifics.
Of course. Thank you, Lou.
Of course.
So, we could potentially try turning in some of our Lorebright knowledge for information about Cove's Key. Or we could just go to the Were Warrens and start asking questions.
Start with that. If that fails, send in the little brain.
Alright, I guess we're headed off to the Were Warrens.
Okay. Which direction are you sort of planning to go from the Jewels Ward? You can just go directly there, or you can go swooping through the Trades Toe if you did want to hit up a few shops on the way, going around Whitewater Square. Or did you want to just make it right there? The shops in Jewels Ward, by the way, they're just sort of nestled as fancier, bespoke spaces, and things like that. So you can always, and obviously you're going to be probably charged a little bit more for something like that. But you could always, swoop down as well on the sort of eastern side of the Whitewater Square and catch that Trades Toe section that kind of covers and swoops up the underside of Whitewater Square, the southern end. All I'm getting is, are you guys trying to find some shops or anything in particular on your way, or are you just going to try and beeline and ask some random people some questions, or have a poke around first? What's your plan?
I wonder what business we've brought to Tristaman.
Sure, let's go to Tristaman's on the way. Maybe keep her ear out for things and see if he's heard anything.
Well, you go ahead and make a perception check.
Me?
Yeah, you're the one who offered it.
Alright,
so.
am I, because I'm listening, is it just regular straight? Or do I do disadvantage?
We'll give it straight, but it'll be mostly non-visual sensory.
Right. That's 12.
Okay. Nothing immediate as you're exiting Jules Ward and heading to Tristafin's. And let me pull up that section. Got a lot to keep track of. Here we go. Let's see. Alright, so you pass a bookshop called Brentland's Books. coming down. You see another few shops that you're sort of running along. You see Eternal 32, and get to Tristophan's, located on the western side of Clinkstone Street, the Trades Toe Ward. You enter in, and Tristophan... Oh, goodness! It's good to see you guys again. Where's that lovely water Genasi? Lovely blue skin, blue hair. We haven't been having customers. She brought such a verve.
She was kidnapped, Christopher, while we were out spreading the good word of your shop.
Well, at least, I suppose it was for a good cause, but is there anything I can do?
You couldn't give me money to...
There's just
Maybe information.
have you heard anything about she was taken by the caravan breaker, and something about a captain and a fox, and we wanted to come see how many people have come in. They wanted to come see, but we thought we'd ask anyway. Maybe you've heard something.
Well, he's kind of rubbing at his sort of weaselly pointed nose, his sharp brown eyes, kind of flashing back and forth between you. He's, well, I don't know much about a fox or a caravan breaker or that. I really mostly know about my shop. Business hasn't exactly been booming. Not a lot of people coming in with a lot of money, and these new gate taxes aren't helping. And not a lot of people can spend on mystery bags, which I kind of thought was our in into the market. But I've been trying to sell a few supplies and goods. No referrals just yet, but we got to give it time. With this influx of population, this might be a good chance to kind of spread more of the word and things like that. So
Maybe you should put up some signs near the shop.
I'm gonna look at him.
Yes.
And
Would you like to buy something? Sponsorship, maybe?
I'm gonna look around the shop, and I'm gonna do an insight check to see if I think that he's lying that business has been bad.
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
6.
As far as you can tell, he seems completely genuine. Seems very,
I'm not keen on business strategies. Maybe you're right. Maybe we need to spend more time. But if you were to continue your sponsorship of our party, we would be very grateful and use any supplies you could lend to help get flow back from that damned vulture man.
Yes, well, of course, yes, but I'm still a business, I gotta eat. I gotta afford my rent.
Flow must be so
Yes, well,
scared
yes,
and alone.
I'm sure. Why don't you, if you'd like to, I can sell you a bundle, mystery bundle, for a mere 35 gold.
You know what you can do, my friend Tristophan?
Yes, go on.
I am on the market for a nice gem. For a project that I am working on. Or perhaps a crystal.
Well, I have to be honest, that's not really, it's a little rich of goods for a man like myself. You might be able to find something over at Clean Casting here. Rothild has some good options. I know she does okay. Mostly spell gear, though. As for the rest, jewels are generally found in the jewels ward. The name and all.
No, Tristophan.
I'm sorry, I don't carry it. I don't have it.
Do you have any silken rope?
Yes, that I can have. That I can do. Yes.
How much?
Let's see. Well, I can silken rope. Whew.
I need a ding-dang gem.
I don't think he sells those right.
I can do 11 gold for you for 50 feet of silken rope.
His prices seem...
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Does this seem expensive?
Go make a general intelligence check.
Oh boy.
Which one?
Both of you.
Yeah, 14.
That's... what is my... 12.
They do seem a little bit higher than normal, but he is a new up-and-coming store versus the established chains, and also you suspect that prices might have risen overall, just in this region in general.
What about 10 gold, 5 silver, and I'll toss in 20 feet of hempen rope?
Make a persuasion check.
This isn't gonna go well.
That's our strong suit.
10.
10.
And
Deal, but I would very much like if you could spread these. And he's got like little scraps of paper that are all like cut to size that just say Tristophan's mystery in every bag, and then in tiny font, plus usual goods. And then located in Tradestow's Ward, western side, Clingstone Street, and kind of say, well, if you could spread these, by the end of turning, that'd be great.
Here, I'll hand them to Ren.
Ren will.
Yes, well, thank you, and here you are, well.
And I'll give him 30 feet of hempen rope. I'm just gonna give him all my hempen rope. Here you go.
Yeah.
You can resell it.
Yes, yeah, well, I'm sure we will. Let me know if I can, if you hear anything more, and I'll see what I can cobble together on such short notice.
I do hope that flow is safe.
I do too. Yes.
While this is happening,
Yeah.
I'm going to cast a message at Tennille and ask him if Tristophan seems the type that would look into, a girl's history that he liked. just, does he seem creepy enough to do that?
Do I think he seems creepy? Does he seem
Make an insight check.
to do that?
Did he Google her? Did he
That's a
pay
10.
for the background check?
You don't really have that much knowledge and read on him, to be sure. He just seemed really awkward. That doesn't necessarily indicate one way or another.
I think he's just shy.
I'll ask anyway. So, Tristophan, dude, mate.
Yes, hi.
I'll I guess lean down and elbow his elbow. So, like that logo, right?
Well, I mean, she's very pretty and nice.
Yeah, don't worry, I'm not judging.
Okay, well,
But
don't tell her.
would you? I know you didn't get to see her for a while. But maybe did you look into her past a little bit? Like maybe where she came from?
Are you a creepy stalker?
Well, I felt like that would be a little bit over the line, and also,
But did you?
I did not. And also, frankly, I just, I prefer to get to know someone on my own terms, face to face.
That's reasonable. But
I'm
if you
old-fashioned
happen to
like
know
that.
Which ship she came in on, that might help us save her life.
Well, I'm sorry, but I just don't know.
It's
Good intention.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll.
Every source of information. Gotta try and find it.
Daniel is actually just standing there like this in the store.
You're pretty confident that he's being truthful.
Alright, well, sorry mate, rooting for you.
Naka's gonna
Yeah.
message to Neil. How did they get that deal in the first place if they're doing? Because she wasn't in the shop.
I wasn't in the shop either.
And just a general, not expecting you to know, but just how?
I'm gonna respond with, you grab Grandpa, I'll grab Tiny. Let's go.
Well, let me know if you guys want to, refer any more people or buy any bundles. Make sure you tell people where you got the rope from. I'm sure it'll serve you well.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
You've been very
thank you for your
helpful.
business.
Just like pushing
Take
it
care
into the
now.
store.
Grandpa, come on.
Oh,
Come
So
on.
you guys head on out.
I'm so glad to see, Ren, that you're really broken up about Flo's kidnapping.
I am. I also am trying to squeeze that Tristophan man.
I don't think he sells gems though.
I think that was a dead-end business venture, I think.
Time to cut losses.
I gotta collect my losses.
I'll take the flyers back and at least try to, like, as we're walking, just like pop them onto bulletin boards and stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
And I could keep a general eye for any sort of yarn store, just not specifically
Okay.
searching, but
Make a perception check.
I would also like to visit that place he had mentioned, the spell crafting.
Fantastic.
18.
That one.
18. You would have at least caught a glimpse of what looked like such a store on the border of the Glint Top Ward and the Jewels Ward as you were exiting. But you kind of already passed that by getting to the Tradestow, so maybe you can hit it on the way back.
Can we hit the yarn store on the way back?
But as you're walking round and kind of passing through the streets of the bustling Tradestow Ward, you are hit with a thick and heavy stench that just assaults your senses from a nearby alleyway between the backs of a few shops jutting up against each other. It is unmistakably the stench of dead things, just like right around the corner.
Anyone else smelling that?
I would like to not be.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like tuning into it now that she's mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh
We
god.
wanna maybe just look.
We should, yeah, let's, I'm gonna head in the direction of the smell.
Yeah, it's kind of shaded, the alley overall. And entering it, you see what looks like a pale, almost wooden-looking corpse of a dead, bald human man just lying there on the cobblestones. He's got sort of a sleeveless jerkin, which is pretty common fashion in Radiant Reach, which exposes a tattoo of a crossed sword and rose on his left bicep.
What was the symbol of the House of Stoven?
House of Scoven?
Scoven?
Um,
House of Stoven.
I don't know that it came up. That you guys have come up with the House of Scoven symbol.
I feel like I might know that just from being where I live, but I don't know.
Yeah, so the Scoven family deals with loans, loan businesses, and also like treasury and stuff like that for the realm. And their symbol is a gold coin in front of a chest, and then it has sort of like a spiraling or concentric circles sort of coming out from that.
So not this symbol.
Nope.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Make a history check.
You're not wrong.
Anything like salt balls in my time there?
Oh, I'm just wrong. Terribly.
You would not.
Would a Mecca have seen it ever?
Not likely.
The sex.
Nope.
Nice.
Haven't seen it.
I don't really like inspecting corpses, but maybe I could take a look. Would Ren have seen?
I'm gonna.
Just make a general perception check. Yeah.
While he's doing that, can I go back to the mouth of the alley and see if there are any like guards around?
Guards?
Like, I feel like we shouldn't be here with a corpse.
I agree with that.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
21.
And that's a disadvantage. Actually, it's sunlight. 21. So you don't recognize the symbol, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of blood. You do see one clear cut on his right arm, like a blade's cut,
Okay.
down to the bone. Looks like he was clearly looted. He's missing one of his ankle-wrapped sort of sandals that are common fashion around here. No belt, no pack, no pouch, broken glass, and a strange liquid sort of drying in the cobblestone. Only his knife remains, which is like clutched tightly now in his swollen and like rigor mortis swollen fist. You can see that scratches like oozing veins of like purple and black creeping up from his arm. So that's what you can tell. What did you get for your perception there?
10.
No visible guards that you notice. It's a pretty busy area, like milling about outside and stuff like that. But not many people come down the alleyways and stuff like that.
Will you keep a lookout for me, just for a quick moment?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
try to be nonchalant about keeping a lookout.
Can I try to collect some of the liquid?
It's not like oozing out of him. It just looks like it's like creeped in
I
his
see.
veins, like up the arm and stuff like that.
Okay.
It looks like it disappears under the jerkin.
You want to try touching a little bright to that bit of darkness there?
Do you want to keep an eye out while I do it?
I'm blind to the sun, but I'll try.
So am I.
I'm happy to look.
Why don't you do that, girl?
Okay, perception check. When you touch the Lorbright stone to the wound, it doesn't. It does seem to take in another little strand.
Okay. I feel like we should get out of here then if we don't see any guards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe grab the sword that he's holding.
Yeah, it's like a wavy bladed knife, but he's like holding it grasped really tightly in his hand. Dead hand. So he's like on the floor.
I mean, if we didn't kill him, I don't know if we should loot him.
Yeah, it seems that if a guard does come, us trying to pry the knife out of a dead man's hand might make us seem less innocent than we are.
How long does it look like he's been here? If he
Make a medicine check.
Smells this bad. Oh, I rolled really well then. Then it's a 22.
It's strange. The rest of him, like you can tell, like the parts of him that are swollen are like is the right side where the whatever the substance has crept up his veins and all that. And the smell seems to be coming from like that wound.
Okay.
As well. So the rest of him, hard to say, but less than a turning.
Oh, he hasn't been dead very long. It seems like it's whatever that is that's making him so smelly.
I wonder if it's sort of a natural poison, if it was a magical something.
Sure don't smell natural.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10 for perception. Do I see anyone coming?
You do not.
Okay. Ren, if you could just continue keeping watch, and she'll pull out her drop spindle and start spinning around and ritually detect magic.
Okay. There's some very faint residual magic coming from the substance, but otherwise no additional magic.
Okay. The substance seems magical, but not like that magical.
Should we tell someone? Should we go looking for something?
Maybe.
It's just harder to place, I would say.
Yeah, it's hard to place. We could maybe let a god know that there's a terrible. It smells like something.
That's faint in the sense that there's a horrible smell down that alley.
Yeah,
Somebody
sounds
should
like It smells like something died here.
I think no one sees us, we don't tell no one. Someone's gonna tell them. And we're really bad at talking to people. Like, really
I mean,
bad.
if we just sort of glancing, hey God, terrible smell in that alley over there, and keep moving.
Anyone want to do anything else? Inspect the corpse or anything else further?
Can we see his face?
Kind of lying on the side. You can turn him and have a look.
And I don't want to turn too much, but just enough that I can see if what he looks like is anything recognizable about him, like a big nose or anything like that, or.
Pretty handsome.
Okay.
Athletic kind of build to him, and kind of sharp jawbone and overall features. Bald, kind of with like a stippling around his head, a little bit, but otherwise fairly well shaven, tanned, weathered look of many native Solnians, kind of the sort of olive skin, swarthy tones.
How old does he look?
In his 30s,
Okay.
human.
Maybe there's some feature on the blade that can identify him. Is there any engravings or uniqueness about the blade that you can look at while you're looking at his face?
Is there anything on the blade that stands out besides it just being a wavy blade?
Kind of hard to tell. Obviously, you can't see the side that's like on the floor. You'd have to take it from him to be able to do that. But you don't see any initial writing on like the side that's facing the sky.
Okay, I'm not really interested. I don't want to touch him.
That's fair.
Maybe we should, let's
Go ahead and make a actually go ahead and make a either perception or investigation check.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled really well there too.
Nice.
That's a 23.
Okay. Kind of hard to tell, but the pommel of the dagger seems to be in the shape of like a face of some kind. Kind of hard to see. And it looks like it has. What'd you get? 23?
23. You rolled a 17.
Yeah, it looks like there's like a screw
Okay.
as part of the back of the blade.
Like actual
Like you could unscrew it.
You still keep an eye on the alley?
Alright, we'll see. Grab the dagger, let's go. Spend some time.
I will try to grab it from him.
Okay. It takes a second to pry away, but you are able to
I mean, he's dead.
to pull it off. And yeah, you got the dagger.
I'm gonna try to conceal it within
Yeah.
my stuff so it's not obviously hanging off of me.
Sure. Yeah, that's not too hard. It's not a huge dagger. It's only about.
You just keep it in your hand, waving it about.
Yeah, just this is an awesome deck,
Yeah. It seems like suspiciously small for like a weapon,
Okay.
too. Like most fighting knives are at least a little longer to give you a better chance, but it depends.
Okay.
Small.
Small.
It's just a baby dagger.
All right. It's a wee dagger.
It's just a wee dagger.
That right there.
All right. So, passing away from the alley, having collected the dagger, what are you guys doing? You heading over still to the Werewarrens and the Guildwater stalls, or did you want to stop by any of the shops, or did you want to go to the Prismere now, or what's the plan?
Is clean casting on the way to the Werewarrens?
Let me look up. It should be not too far. It is in the Trade's Toe, kind of on the corner of where Trade's Toe is meeting. It's not too far from Eternal 32, which is on the corner of like the Whitewater Square part of Tradestow in the south. That would be southeastern corner. So yeah, it's on the way if you're going like directly
Would you,
from
like,
Tradestore. Cut
Go to
across.
clean casting?
Yeah, and not that anyone has asked me or anything, or has expressed any concern over my jacket that has.
Oh, so
Pretty slashed up. Yep.
I'll kind of like pull. I completely forgot to do this while we were camping. I'll pull him aside and he's like, just give me a second. I'll cast mending to try to mend some of the tears.
Okay, I think mending takes an hour to cast.
It's a minute.
It's a minute? Okay.
It's a minute. I can double check though.
Yeah, double check for me.
It's a
But
minute.
Is a minute? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, you can spend a minute and you're able to mend some of the rips and tears and stuff. It's not as like you can tell it's a little off. You're not a seamster or anything, but it's able to at least not be clearly like I've been slashed with a sword.
Well, that's quite a nice. It gives it a good DIY flair. Maybe we can just peek into Eternal 32. Just, not that I'm not pleased.
It's alright. It's fine. It's fine.
It looks very good.
Just Neil walks away, just like grateful.
I'm literally wearing rags underneath this hide armor, so that'd be maybe not the worst.
To go to Eternal 32 or to wear my ugly jacket. My handcrafted.
You're just digging your own grave here, old man. It's not.
As you're passing, Slate, you feel just like a little bit of a pull towards the direction of the bookstore, Brentland's Books. And you just note it, like you could, just sort of like, oh, okay, there it is.
Oh yeah, bookstore.
One point, do any of us have enough money to spend at these stores?
Yeah, I have a good bit of coin.
No, I can't buy anything.
Then, I'm not flush.
Got a little bit of money. I just want to look around the yarn store, be surrounded by
But
so
we
much
also have our terrible friend breathing down our neck, and our other friends are in the clutches of a maniacal air genasi, and she's found a body. And, there's a lot going on. I wonder if maybe we should...
Maybe we could find some information at the bookstore.
You're more optimistic than me.
Might
Yeah,
I
I mean-
express to you the importance of a good fitting jacket?
I mean, you guys were making business deals when I wasn't sure if my parents were dead, so there's that.
I was not.
You were not, I'll give you that.
I don't include me in that. I was very uncomfortable.
Ren
the whole
was
time.
making business deals.
I was trying to acquire goods for us to help check on your parents for a deal that we could afford.
Uh-huh.
Well, I could skip forever, eternally 32 for now, if we are in a hurry, but I definitely am interested.
We'll come back.
Okay.
Okay. So you're heading over to the Werewards.
Let's go to the werewolf.
Got it. So you continue on. Did you want to unscrew the dagger, or did you want to just keep going for now?
When we're a good distance away from where we found it, I'll kind of like try that.
Sure. You're able to unscrew it after a second. Pull it, and a scrap of paper with writing unfurls on it.
Oh.
The outside has a stamp of some kind, with 4 smiling masks, and on the front it has fabric order for TTT. And it's actually like a sealed letter. The seal is the 4 masks and has fabric order for TTT.
The 4 masks look familiar?
Um,
Any of the rebel dens or anything like that? Okay.
You know that Revel Dens often host the black and white smiling mask of the
Right.
Reveler. This does not seem to be that. This is like a quartered heraldry kind of situation with a mask in each quadrant. And they're not black and white. They're just all the same, like an ivory color, smiling, impish grin, like mustache curling kind of situation. Not too dissimilar to a Guy Fawkes mask, but like a little more liveliness to it.
Okay.
Fabric order.
I mean, are we going to take this to Mr. TTT, or should we open it and take a look?
Did I open it, or is that just what's
That's
in
on the outside of the letter. Sorry, I
Okay. Okay.
misdescribed something.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay, you open it. It's a letter. It's written in a flowing hand. It reads, "Knife. Whispers are about the chill moving eastward and with gleaming intent. Still no clown in town, though rumors and dark humors are milling abound. You always had better luck unlocking doors than I did. Perhaps you could send another word. Their latest venture was messier than expected. More than a few saw fur and feather, and the poles were pulled down and around. Drops are falling like rain here. Expect similar weather in the north, and mixing in foxfur. Our planks are seeing driftwood amidst the shining shore lately. Perhaps father and son may soon see a reunion. Still no sign of any roots, despite all the branches. Spare a wing and a drink next. Cane." And cane is spelled like the object, like an old man's walking cane.
Can you put that in the notes document later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just me, or did this mention foxes, the seashore?
Foxes, the poles. I feel like there was a reference to what we did in the salt poles there.
Yeah.
Is it session 9 that you got? Oh,
This is session 10, so I haven't started that one yet.
I'll just post it around there.
Thank
oh,
you.
geez, it went really small. But okay, we'll
I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
figure it out another time. Anyway,
That's interesting. Warrior.
so that is what you get.
Okay. Okay. We'll have to puzzle this later.
Yep.
Let's go to werewolves.
Okay. Moving along through some of the different shops and spaces, you get to the Werewarrens, and you see this is a crowded space, and you can tell that many of the warehouses, the Werewarrens is a subsection of the Guildwater stalls near the Tenpenny Tar Street area, where a lot of the warehouses there have been converted into makeshift living, basically. Tight houses. The folk here are a little rougher looking, sailors, salty dog types, some unsavory types of varying character and stuff like that, but also just some like dispossessed people trying to find housing or buying what they can afford in a big city. So yeah, that's kind of what you're seeing. It's a big milling mass of people.
Gonna keep my coin purse very tight to my body.
Yep, okay.
I'm gonna peek around to see if there's anybody that's particularly watching us or observing us.
Sure, make a perception check.
Well, okay, 10.
That's familiar.
You don't feel particularly like you're being watched, and you don't notice any incriminating behavior that stands out.
Can I look?
Sure, disadvantage.
Yes, sir.
Sunlight.
Mortal enemy.
Helps you get into character.
That's a less than 10.
What'd you get?
Less than 10.
What'd you get?
10, actually. Never mind. It's actually just 10.
Okay, there you go.
Exactly the 10.
You also do not get a particular sense that you're being followed or noticed or anything like that.
Are there any, I'm trying to think of what I want to do. So do we want to go to the docks and ask about Flo's ship? Or do we want to see if we can figure out how those Kenku were hired?
Both?
Are there any, like, street urchins running around?
Yep, lots.
Gonna kind of, like, watch them for a moment and kind of, based on, my own experiences, kind of see if I can find one that looks like they might be an ideal candidate to slip a few coins to for information.
Okay. You see a barefoot young lad, kind of messy brown hair, got a vest open to his bare chest, and some very dirty looking kind of rag pants. He's kind of billowed together. Yeah, what'd you want?
Gonna kind of pull a silver out and...
all right.
Looking for information about the vulture.
Don't know much about Vulture, but word is things been moving around. All sorts. Getting into a couple purchases of property being made by A couple official types flashing a lot of coin. I'm not sure about some vulture man, but I feel like he would stand out.
What about some Kenku?
Sure, city's got a lot of them. Activity around here, though, not so much. They're usually more around the. I think there was a crew not too long ago, but they hauled out not too maybe 5-10 turnings ago. Before the whole flicker stuff.
Where were they? Where did they haul out from?
Could be that my memory needs a little bit more jogging, you understand?
I'll give him another silver. Or pull out another silver and just kind of like do the dancing or finger trick. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if silver's really going to be jogging my memory, you understand? You have the look of a man with gold in his pocket.
And you have the look of a kid who is overstepping.
I will stand behind him and...
Right. What did you want to know?
I'll pull out a third silver.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Where did they haul out from?
One of the old purchased spots. It was a I don't know, one of the warehouses in the Warrens. A few of those ones have been purchased by I don't know, some group has a quipper on their logo that they put on all the doors.
What was that again?
A quipper. It's like a piranha.
Okay.
A fish. It's like a saltwater piranha.
Sorry, I'm writing this down.
I just know that they were purchased, hauled out. I think they were some of the movers, hired hands, all that sort of type. Certainly, Folian has his people. I'm willing to bet he's the buyer.
What's the name?
Folian, Folian.
L-I-A-N. Okay.
But you don't want to go messing with him. More than one folk have run afoul and disappeared of his kind.
Okay. I'll pull out 2 more silver. I'll give him 5 silver. And all right, on your way.
Mighty kind. Scampers off,
All right.
barefoot, slapping on the stones.
Okay.
Did you understand anything that little human said? That was all gibberish.
Yeah, I got it.
Alright, I'm glad one of us did.
Okay, so we're looking for warehouses with the logo equipper on the logo. They've been purchased recently, and the buyer's been putting their logo on the buildings. So, didn't want to push my luck with that kid, but we could probably start inquiring about these newly purchased warehouses. We could even pretend to be respectable.
It might start with a new jacket.
Alright, Ren, alright.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Okay.
Ren, you got great hair. Just embrace it.
I look.
Like you belong here in the warehouse district. It's great.
Do I look like a man of affluence?
You look like you belong here.
You look like you are wealthy.
You still stand out, for sure. Wardrobe-wise.
I lied, you don't look like you belong here.
Sorry, like feels once again standing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, I feel like Janelle looks like the fanciest one of us all.
No, he doesn't. His armor looks like it came from the gutter, and his clothes are probably 20 years out of fashion.
Okay, well, that's nice.
20 years is how long it takes for things to come back into fashion, though, right?
So he's a hipster.
Yep.
He's a hipster. Okay, he's a hipster.
Well, I don't know if they'll like the hand knit look around here, but I think my clothes are the nicest out of all of you. No offense.
I'm literally wearing rags. No offense taken.
So what is everyone doing? Besides
You
comparing wardrobe.
We're sniping at each
be
other.
my servants? Or we could buy Ren a new jacket.
Okay?
Or we could abandon the affluence man.
Make him abandon me.
I don't think we're going to do that.
No, I don't think we
I
will.
mean, looking around you guys, you do not get the sense of, like, that, this is a very affluency, flashy area.
Right.
And actually, as you guys are kind of discussing, you see another boy kind of run on up another street, a little older, heard word on the street is you guys are flashing some nice coin for some information on Folian and the Quipcoin Wonderware.
Maybe.
Well, if you can flash some more my way, maybe I could tell you a little bit more about what's been going around. You don't want to be getting on the bad side of Folian. Folk tend to be disappearing around him. He's got a lot of pull in the werewarrens here. A lot of pull with political figures and with the rougher types too. They call him the Fox. Folian the Fox. He runs the Quipcoin Wonderware auction house is where he started. Word is that's where they fence some of the worst gear and people that come in and out, illicit trade and all that. If you're looking for something dangerous and expensive, he's probably got it, but I don't know if you cast the right vibe that he'll be wanting in.
I'll get all my damn money. I'll pull out 2 more silver, and kind of what vibe do I need to give?
The kind that you're willing to murder to get what you want. The kind that isn't afraid to fight a little to get through the door. The kind that's going to show respect.
That's my job.
The kind that's going to show respect to and bow and scrape to the fox's whims, if you understand me. He's not a man to take his pride wounded. Well, from what I hear.
Okay.
You ain't heard it from me. Just pay up and let me go.
I'll toss him 3 silver.
Much obliged. And he kind of runs off.
Okay.
Okay, so we need to look like willing to fight to get in.
Ooh, Ryan just goes.
I mean, do we think we're going to approach right away? Because
I don't know if that's a wise thing to do.
but
I would like to know more.
maybe if we want to give up, I have an idea. If we want to give up out those vibes, and Anutka, she's gonna sort of cover me while I do this. Sort of bring up kind of a knitted tube around her, and then it'll cut through, and she's gonna look like a human woman, really short cropped hair, just covered in scars, one across, and looks like she's wearing leather armor, just sort of a mouth that's always in a snarl, even if it's resting. Do I look like I could murder someone?
You look frightening.
I don't think I've tried this, but I'll try it now. Sorry, Tail. Can I try and intimidate Tail?
Okay, what are you doing? You're just going like, "Brr."
Just leering
It's
at
gonna
her,
be
like,
like, I'm gonna loom as hard as possible.
Okay. Make an intimidation check based on your strength.
He is not the best socially.
I gathered
He
that.
tries, he tries. So what if I'm proficient in intimidation?
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Because then that's 23.
Okay. He's casting you've seen him in some fights, you know that this guy can handle himself. He's casting like a severe violence vibe.
Hells, man, stop it!
Sorry,
You
just trying.
definitely get the sense that the kid was like genuinely frightened from Foley and the Fox.
Okay.
Nutka's also gonna, she kind of, the lady she's disguised as kind of look like she's wearing leather, but she'll sort of bring her hands up, and then it kind of looks like she's wearing sort of that kind of corset leather armor and cast mage armor on herself as well.
Okay.
Are we going in right now?
Well, it lasts for 8 hours, and I could cast this again. I just, wanted to attract the right vibes,
So how do
Or
we...
maybe I should tickle Snarly. How does this
Snarly.
sound? Snarly.
So maybe we are seen as we are, as scary as hell as you two are, and come back. I think that we might want to maybe get some more information on this Foley and the Fox fellow before we come back here.
we still gotta look at the other stuff too.
Yes.
So
So are we like in a place that's not like obviously out in the street, kind of?
Yeah, you can kind of be up against some of the normal warehouses that are moving goods and stuff like that.
So I'll disguise self myself. Kind of keep like my facial structure, but I'll give myself some more scars and change my armor to look like, somebody you don't want to mess with, kind of like a more hardened version of myself. Maybe
Sure.
more muscly.
Got it?
Actual muscles.
Netka's also a foot taller, and it looks like she's wearing sort of the impractical high heel combat boots.
Got it?
Can you change your appearance?
Well, I suppose. And I'll do a little ear twitch, and I will slowly start to transform into almost identical to Netka's. Twins are terrifying.
You're telling me all three of you can do that?
I can only do it for a short period of time.
I'm feeling left out here.
You
You're
can't?
you're scary on your own.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Netka's gonna pull out her actual dagger and sort of as they're walking, like, kind of, not like brandish it, but, have it in hand.
okay. Nice.
We want to look for those warehouses with the mark on them, so we at least know where we're going.
Yeah, we'll kind of we'll walk around and do that. And
Be seen, looking scary.
a quick DM question, actually.
Sure.
So
Why don't you guys go make perception checks for those of you who are looking? Let's get everyone to make one. That's fine. What did you want to say?
So for my disguise self, because it's part of my feat, I can do it without using a spell slot once a day. But could I go ahead and burn a spell slot and do it again, or do I just get that one off with it? It's the magic initiate feat. Because I feel like some people do various rulings on it. I'm not sure how we want to play it.
I would say the magic initiate just gives you the once per day
Okay.
usage.
Okay.
Okay. So what'd you guys get for perception checks?
11.
20.
13.
Oh, we should roll at disadvantage. That was a 9. Oh, that's a 6. 12.
12? Yeah, so you're able to find a block of buildings not too far from where you guys are at now that seem to all, nonchalantly, you can just see like the stamp onto the door of the Quipper with like a coin in its mouth. And you see it's like there's a particular block of 4 buildings, and one in the middle that's kind of in the shadow of all the others. It's like squatter. You wouldn't have noticed initially, but sort of Slate is able to kind of pick it out as he's moving along. It's like a block of 4 that's in a grid, and in the middle of the grid, separating it slightly, is this like sort of lower slanty one. It's kind of in the shadow, like I said, in the shadow of the others.
Is there a foot traffic in the area?
Yeah, foot traffic all over the place, but less so like in and out of the spaces. So you're not seeing any movement coming in and out of any of the buildings.
Okay.
And all of the buildings have their windows like boarded and shade clothed up.
Okay.
But that's not totally unusual in the werewolves. About 50%, 40-50% have them like that. Sometimes for preservation of goods, stuff like that.
So, we found the warehouses. It's part of my persona.
Yeah, they sure look like the warehouses.
You did a really good impression, old man. I didn't know your voice could go that high.
It's part of the magic.
Well done.
Oh, look, we found the warehouses. What should we do next? Next character.
What indeed?
accent.
What indeed?
Did Slate point out the one that seemed shorter?
I would have told everyone.
Maybe just walk around it, see what's up.
So just to clarify, you can't really walk around it. It's
It's
butting
in
up against the
Okay.
other ones, and it's got like one entrance.
Is there anyone outside of it?
Not that you see.
I feel like if we approach that, it's because we're going in.
Maybe we could take a few moments and do some surveillance.
Or we could go down and look to the docks and see if Flo's ship. If we can figure out what ship she came on.
Oh god, if it stops you from talking like that, let's go and look at the ships.
Right, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I mean she's blue.
Someone's gotta know what ship she came on.
I mean, she's blue, she's pretty, like, someone's paying attention.
Let's suddenly switch, like, southern hospitality, like...
Anetka's not very good at accents, and it's totally Anetka, not me at all.
Same.
This is a journey of accents.
All right, so you get to the waterline, and spaced around the waterline there are, this is a space of activity, the sounds of ocean tide and marine birds, numerous incoming and outgoing vessels with fish, trade goods, military personnel, all sorts. You also see in the distance some of the gleaming lambent ships with their like glowing large lumens on deck, part of the Solari Navy. Within this constant activity, you see the sort of rough and sort of salty characters coming in and out, but you do also come across what looks like 3 large and low buildings with an official cast to them. You see shipping lords and newborn captains alike visiting these structures, paying the plank tax or arranging insurance for their latest voyages.
What do we think we're gonna do?
Well, you two seem to know Flo better than us. Because you were with her in line, right? At the Lorbright thing.
Yeah, the 3 of you were together.
Yeah, we spent a little time to
This
tell
hurts.
him about.
You're not helping. Let the woman try.
Where did you meet her?
This is amazing.
Well, she had come up.
Hey, did you meet her when she came off the ship? Because I met you guys after.
No, I met her at a bar nearby.
Do you remember approximately when that happened? Like what day? What turning?
Oh man, I can't be expected to remember. I can't be expected to remember these things.
Just think back. Maybe you'll catch it. You know. Maybe you can roll for it.
Do I have an approximate sense of how long it's been since since I met Flo?
Since you met Flo,
Yeah.
well, you guys did go on that journey to, where you had gone previously as the 3 of you, and that took, several days each way, several turnings each way, and then you had met Flo a couple days before that. So taken all together, you're looking at closer to 15 turnings, 20 turnings.
If I had to guess, I would say about 15 to 20 turnings.
Okay, good. We can maybe bribe a dockmaster and see if you heard about any pseudo pirates and blue people coming off ships in that time frame.
Well, I don't know if she came fresh off the ship when I met her.
Look, mate, that's all we got. I don't know either. I met you guys after.
Somebody else can do the bribing.
I've got plenty of money. I can do the bribing.
All right. With that auspicious plan in mind, we have reached 9:30, and I think a good time to call this and see where, when we pick up next time, see where you guys' escapade and investigation leads you. If the bribery does prove the path forward, investigating some of the other options that you guys have come across since. So, with that, to those of you watching at home, thank you so much for joining and tuning in. Again, you can find us at DragonPoetSociety.com or on YouTube and Instagram, DragonPoetSociety. And tune in next week again, Sunday at 6:30, and we'll be around for our next session. So take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you everybody here.